Oh, fuck. I didn't know it was going to be that soon. You talking about the screens in front of us? It's lagging? Oh, the one on the right. Oh, shit, it's lagging pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think it actually is.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't think it actually is. I did a YouTube video with this setup, and it didn't lag at all. So I think it's probably just a lot of shit plugged into my computer. Misha Tate just fought.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she's, I guess, ranked 13. I was
in the fight before this?
Yeah, fight before
Oh,
this.
shit. I didn't know she was still fighting.
Yeah, she finished the number 12. She's number 13. I don't know. I want to say it was at 145, but I wasn't paying too much attention. She finished the chick in the third round. I was setting all this shit up, but she just got to win. She's been out for, I think, 2 years.
Hello? I can't hear you in my headset.
I got you.
Hello,
How about
hello?
now?
Yep, that's good.
This guy looks familiar. I can't think of who it is.
So I've been wrestling at a new gym.
Oh, yeah, in Portland, right?
Yeah, at Gracie Barra or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Of a Chris, the coach at Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
He coaches out in Portland, and I was like, man, I want to wrestle with you whenever I can when I'm out there. But he trains all the way across town. It takes me fucking 45 minutes, to get across town. And I was like, where else in Portland would you recommend? And he's like, this guy named Aaron from Gracie Barra on Mississippi is the most legit coach around. He's like, go to that guy. He's like, he's cream of the crop, and Chris is cream of the crop, and so Chris is saying it has to be good.
Yeah.
And so I ended up moving to a place that's 5 blocks away. So the place I live in Portland now.
Yeah.
I just have to walk 5 blocks to the gym.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's cool as fuck. It's always like I'm always so fucking nervous to train at a new gym. Like
yeah, I feel you.
It's like I think the number one thing is like are people gonna like me? It's like I just want to be.
Don't though.
I just want to be liked. I want people to like. It's weird. It's weird. Like, am I gonna like the gym? Am I gonna have like problems with people? And it's weird things to like psych yourself out about. But
Yeah.
Let's talk about something other than me.
No, I think walking into a fight gym, generally, if you have a bit of training, at least everybody's respectful, it seems like. Solstice.
But not everybody's as alpha and gnarly as I am, though. And that fucking
Yeah, true that.
that people, it doesn't rub everybody the right way.
Sure.
Oof.
Oh, you got
No,
it.
what I mean is like, fuck, I'm competitive, like, like, if you walk into a gym and you don't like your only goal is to be liked, you'll be liked,
Sure.
Like, but also at the same time, I don't like assholes. Like, if somebody's rude to me, like it's only gonna fly for so long before like there's a problem.
Dude, I've been dealing with this at work for a while now. Normally, I get all my energy out in training and stuff like that, but since I haven't been in a while, I noticed at work, the only time people like legitimately try to bully me is, for one, they're a lot smaller than me. And for two, it's like they're just weak. They're super out of shape. And it bothers me so bad that people think like they get a promotion at work. Like they're...
What do you mean bully you?
Like just like be an asshole for no reason. Like try and tell you what to do and...
Just having that tone with you?
Dude, I've done the same job for 3.5 years. I know what I'm doing. It's never like I make mistakes. But this one guy at work he'll just we had a couple new girls in the other day, and he made one of them cry just because. And I'm telling you, he's probably 5'2". He's just, and he's a bit older, but it's so surprising to me that we had a guy just become a supervisor, and all of a sudden he treats everybody like shit. It's like they go from being one of us, they get a little promotion, and all of a sudden they just treat everybody like shit, and it drives me fucking
Dude,
mad.
that would fucking piss me off. Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, if we clocked out and walked outside, they don't talk to you like that.
Oh
Outside.
no!
It's like, dude, why would you talk to me like that when we're clocked in? Then, like, if there's a problem, just say it. But they'll make problems when there's not problems. They'll tell you you're doing something wrong when you're not, and they're just complete fucking assholes, dude. And it's so frustrating to. It's not like let's fight about it or something, but it's like you wouldn't talk to me like this if we both just clocked out at the same time. All of a sudden, they're nice guys, but that is like I get if you're a boss, you got to be a boss, but as far as just like getting a small promotion and acting better than everybody, drives me fucking crazy, dude. I'll never understand it.
Ooh,
That
I love
dude
it.
is a fucking savage. I think they call him. His nickname is something bombs, like coconut bombs or something.
What is his name?
Soriano.
Soriano, and then there's Stoli Fuckus.
Stolfsis.
Stolfsis.
Yeah, Stolfsis.
Soriano.
Soriano,
Stolfsis.
yeah.
Stolfsis got hit a couple times hard and recovered. He didn't get complacent, didn't get slow. He like fired back. He was sharp after he got hit hard. Same thing with Serrano.
Soriano.
Whatever.
Close enough.
Serrano chilies. He's spicy Mexican.
He's Hawaiian, hence the
pretty
tribal tattoos.
Whatever.
He reminds me of Dennis McCarthy.
Oh yeah.
Soriano. He's good. He kind of fights like him, in my opinion.
Yeah. Serrano got cracked with a good shot and then immediately threw hard back and it cracked Stolfi. Stole. Let's call him Stole.
Yeah, Stole, whatever.
Cracked
German name.
Stole. But I see with a lot of fighters, you get hit hard. They have this habit of like cowering or just like not. Yeah.
Jesus. That was
Reset
sick.
and look good. Both of these guys, when they get cracked hard, have a good reaction of like fighting back and not just covering up and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still pretty green. I think Soriano's had probably 4 UFC fights. And I think he lost one of them. So, I mean, he's still relatively
You're
new.
fighting such studs in the UFC. Everybody's a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
See that? Like the reaction.
Right at the bell.
So he gets cracked,
Holy
he gets
shit.
knocked down, but immediately is like on fight, ready
yeah.
to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I've seen people get cracked like that, and then they get like scared. They
they
cover
wait,
up. They or
overanalyze.
I don't know.
Either that or they throw like something sloppy. You know, they try to throw back and it's like
you're really hurt then.
Yeah,
You try to
yeah.
throw back and you're just retarded.
Yeah,
You're like-
exactly. Then it's like, okay, you showed them your cards.
Yeah. Oh, these guys are cracking.
I have a bad tendency to do that where if I get hit hard, I'm like, all right, let's think about this. You know, it's not, I'm not like that.
You gotta, I mean, a habit that's done well for me is if I get hurt, I get more. I just start bombing on them to
Sure.
back them up, and then try to get them to think of defense and not offense anymore. But it's just like a habit, like that I think is a good habit to be in.
Sure.
But also at the same time, if you're really rocked and you're trying to be offensive, you're gonna get knocked the fuck out. Like
Yeah.
you're hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky game.
Usually, if somebody gets you, it's like something you didn't see coming. Really, you're blind to it.
That's why I think I overanalyze because I'm
Yep.
like, I'm like, okay,
Just
what can I
attack
do
them.
to not
Don't
get
even
hit?
don't
Yeah.
let them even
Yeah.
fucking get a chance to like capitalize on your mistake. Just start doing different shit and start attacking them.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think like, how did that hit me? As I'm thinking, we're still going, and it's almost like I'm stuck in time.
This one, my last fight, I got knocked down when I was throwing a jab. The guy threw a punch like over my jab and hit me in the back of the head or in the side of the head, and it knocked me down. And I knew he was going to throw that right hand, and so I threw the jab in a way where I thought I was blocking my head, and so I'm like, there was a second I lost, and I was like, what did I get hit with? Like, I'm fucking hurt. I'm dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
I got hit with something, but I don't know what hit me. And I thought it was a knee. I was like, he couldn't have hit me with the right hand, so it had to be a knee. But if I don't know if it was a knee and how he did it, like, I can't stop it from happening again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just started, I would put my hands down around my waist and I started cawing at him like a chicken. I was like, Brock, Brock, Brock. Because I wanted him to throw a punch, and I shot on him. So as soon as soon as he came in, well, I put my hands down and stuck my chin out. And so he tried to punch me, and I shot and took him down. But I didn't know what he hit me with until after I watched the fight.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's like I needed to grab him. I needed to make this grappling now. I can't stand with this guy anymore because he got me with something good, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that's why people get knocked out and they wake up and they're like, what hit me? Because not only was it like they reacted too late, they didn't see it.
Yeah. Those are the shots that hurt you when you like you're not expecting like somebody can throw a big right hand, you can like tuck into it, you can tense, and it hits you and it rocks you. You're like, fuck, that was hard. But if you don't see it coming and you're not prepared for it, it fucking
same thing with body shots too. Fuck.
Second time he did that.
Yeah, I think he.
So you don't know anything about Stoll?
I'd have to look into him. I know him. I know I've seen him fight, but there's just so many fighters on the UFC roster. Sometimes if they look close enough, I get him confused with somebody else.
He's Mexican, right? They all look German. The same to me. It's weird. Like I don't take notice of a fighter until he's like in title contention.
Sure.
Then I go back and watch fights of his. But until they're like are way up there, I don't want like I don't watch a lot of the prelims and shit. I don't watch. I don't watch a lot of the. I watch the cards, but there's half the people on the card I don't know who they are. But if you made it to a fucking main card in a UFC fight, you're a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah. Dude, my family don't plan shit around Saturdays. I watch the beginning, the first fight of the night, till the end, and then I watch the post-fight interview. I watch every.
Yeah, where's everybody?
Fucking, they don't want to hang out and watch me talking to a microphone, so they split.
It can hurt his neck. Woo. He has a really good. Fuck, I forgot what that choke was called. No, his chin's under. I would sit there and just hang out and be like. Yeah, I'm busy right now.
You don't have the left token. Oh, there it is.
What do you want?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm busy.
Okay, call me back.
Well, I'm not going to call you back. I'm watching. He's dead. I watched somebody just die. What do you want?
I was just asking how Chris' dad's doing.
Oh, shit, yeah. He left the hospital today. Sorry, I'll call you back. I'm doing the podcast. So I thought that was going to be a funnier interaction between us.
Oh, okay, bye-bye.
Bye. My girlfriend's dad's was in the hospital for a few days and had to get like heart stents and shit. And it was pretty. And so that was my buddy Jason that we train. I got him into jiu-jitsu like 8, 9, 10 months ago. Just start rolling with me and a couple other guys, and he's never rolled or done anything like that before. Anyways, normally we are funny when we talk to each other. That was. You think he choked? You think he was going unconscious, or he gave up?
It's a good question. It looked like he had it.
I don't.
But especially when you're exhausted, and then
that's what I'm saying. I think he gave up.
Could have been. When that choke's so tight, you can't breathe.
Hey, I people that are blue belts, I let them put me in a rear naked choke, and they're choking the fucking dog and their arms, they got me just like that, and they're squeezing me, and it's like I'm not going unconscious.
Sure.
I can't breathe, and it's scary or whatever, but like you can shrug your shoulders and shit, and you can survive with them having it. Really, they have to have it. Like for me to tap, they're gonna have to have it under my chin, and I'm
sure
blacking out, or it's gonna crush my windpipe. And it didn't look like it was that bad.
It looked his grip was off. His grip was different, but it looked like his angle was different too.
I forgot what it was called. There's a certain in jiu-jitsu, when you're going from rear naked, then you fulcrum choke. I think I saw Joe Rogan call it a fulcrum choke one time, and you can exert a lot of pressure on the neck and the head and stuff, and but he didn't. Did he tap, or did he just like wasn't responding?
He tapped.
He tapped.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see the replay of the angle. I was a little distracted.
My fucking asshole friend Jason calling me, checking up on my girlfriend's dad.
He live in Longview, Jason?
Yeah, Jason does, yeah.
Are you guys still rolling in Longview at all?
Yeah, I'll be rolling here until I start school in January. So fucking come in if you have a day.
Yeah, dude, I would love to. How many times are you going to the Gracie Baja?
Couple
it's
times.
Baja, ain't it?
Yeah, I think
That's
it's Gracie
pronounced
Baja,
it.
yeah.
Baja.
Barra. I think it's, I don't know.
It's like BARRA, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't give a shit how it's pronounced. It's just
who cares?
A good school next to me. Yeah.
You go there a couple times a week?
Yeah, a couple times a week.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're still coming to Longview?
The people I wrestle with at my buddies where I have the mats, they only roll with me. They've only rolled with me, and they've never trained anywhere else. And I feel like if I just stop because I feel like I'm leaving them. I feel bad about it. Yeah. And so I told them I'd continue to come back until I start school. I have time. I don't have a good reason not to come now because I'm a bum.
Yeah.
Like
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. You could start your own grappling cult.
Yeah,
Be
man.
the first one ever.
I had one back in the day. The FBI got hot,
like
and so we cooled it down.
Who's on your shirt? A cult leader?
This is old
Oh,
man
that's
Wayne.
Wayne. I didn't notice it till just now. But I saw he was in Juggernaut the other day.
Come beat me up, you piece of shit.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
First words you've ever said to me.
Me too.
No, I've been trying to get them to go into Juggernaut, even though I think things like I just don't have a good opinion about Jeff or whatever. But I want them to keep on doing jiu-jitsu. Like I just fucking wrestling, whatever you call it, kick. I don't give a fuck what they're doing, but as long as they're doing some like, there's something so fucking good for people to go to a gym and train jiu-jitsu with, and that in the whole environment, you know, it's a good thing for people. Good habit to be in.
Of course. I miss it every day.
I heard Ryan's place is $180 a month.
Really?
Base. I just thought I thought that was crazy. Anyways,
It's probably 7 days a week, though.
you can go as many times as you want, but it's $180 a month.
Oh, so essentially you're paying 7 days a week whether you're going or not.
You better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually the dilemma I'm in with the place I'm going. Is it's like $160 a month, which is I don't have no problem with that price because I think the coaches are fantastic, top notch, and they have a 6 spot, and it's anyways. But I have to go, like if I pay drop fees that were $20, it would almost make the same amount. It would make the same.
Sure.
Like anyway, but you're saying you miss jiu-jitsu or
oh fuck yeah, dude, fuck yeah. The thing, the reason why I would pay $180 for Ryan's gym, I really like Ryan. I know he's really good at jiu-jitsu, and I mean he's good at fighting.
yeah, I would never say either one of those things, but anyway,
Competed in SUG.
what's that?
Him and Amy, his wife.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
competed in SUG.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Submission Underground. Chael Sonnen's thing.
I know I didn't. Yeah,
They did a tag team
did they?
jiu-jitsu match against somebody else's husband and wife.
That dude, they're as a couple. That's probably one of the toughest couples I know of.
She was a blue belt, too.
Unless it's Cyborg and Cyborg. That'd be the only only
yeah.
couple I know that's tougher. That's only because there's two men. In that. But no, Ryan, they're both tough. Yeah, in anyways.
But yeah, you got to watch them in SUG. It's pretty.
Oh, it's on the internet?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It's a Chael Sonnen thing, and they do grappling in a cage. I think John Jones main evented that one too.
Oh, I know. Was it the Roseland? Maybe.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
I think I've seen flyers for it.
I think they did like 7 of them. But if you look up Ryan's name, it pops up. I think he was on Submission Underground 5.
I need to start.
SUG.
I need to start stalking him more.
There's some UFC fighters that go on there, and they like the whole grappling in a cage thing. So
fuck yeah.
Because they can fucking cage work the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, dude.
You know, jiu-jitsu guys are good, but when you throw them up against the cage, they're kind of lost. So, but what I was gonna say is the thing I like about Juggernaut is awesome. That's like my home gym. If I ever got to train again, the only thing is when I'm on rotating shifts, it's like sometimes I can go in the morning, sometimes I can't go till night, sometimes I can't go till afternoon. So when classes are 6 to 10 p.m., I'm like, I could only go if I get off work early when I'm on day shift. Otherwise, I won't be able to make it. If I'm on any other shift.
But you have to get off early, too.
Yeah, exactly. The cards just never align. Because I get the option to work overtime. And as you can imagine, you know, with all this dumb stuff I'm buying, I work all the overtime I can. So if I didn't have, because my wife stays at home. So if I could just like get off early whenever I wanted or fucking call in sick and go train, I would do that. But I kind of put myself in a spot where I need to work overtime and stuff like that. So it didn't make sense to.
And also pay for it.
Yeah. One time I paid for, Jeff's is really cheap. I was really surprised. But one time I paid for a month of jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, all the classes, kickboxing and stuff. And I went one time that month and I was like, fuck, dude. I was figuring out like I could leave work early a couple times and then it just never happened. I was never able to. But I think the thing with Ryan is I think they have morning classes, which I think Jeff started doing morning classes now, but I think they do morning classes, afternoon classes, late night classes. So it don't matter what schedule you're on. I think you can make it at some point.
Well, you need to put in your phone the times I have classes. And
I would love to.
If it makes sense that day, you should show
yeah,
up.
if it makes sense, I'd definitely be there to let everybody beat up on me. But
no.
The only thing is, like, dude, if I could belong to a gym that had a schedule that I could, that's why I just signed up at 24-hour Snap Fitness 24-hour gym, because it's like I can't make it to MMA class or jiu-jitsu or anything, but it don't matter if I get off at 3 o'clock in the morning, I could go and lift weights. So that's just what I've been doing, is just lifting
I had a
weights.
couple buddies that were shift workers, but they would never, for any reason, not fulfill their, they would lift 5 days a week. They do chest one day, legs another day. And sometimes I'd see them in the gym. I get to the gym fucking early at 6 or something, and they're leaving because they have work at 6 or 7 or whatever it was.
Yep.
And they're like, had to come in early today,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
they're working at fucking 9 o'clock at night, but it was always like they'd put their 1 hour in every day.
Yeah.
But it
Which
was
would
cool.
be an impossible thing if you didn't belong to a 24-hour gym, which obviously you can't with jiu-jitsu and things.
No, but when they could make it, they would make it to our, because we'd lift together and stuff when we could. He's like, I have Wednesday off, like I could make it there, Yeah, you need to find some friends that are bums that can just wrestle anytime.
I know, dude. You know what I hear? My friends are into martial arts and stuff, like Justin, the guy that was here with us last time.
Yeah.
He's always been in martial arts. Every time I talk to my friends about, like, come to Juggernaut and train, or fucking come over, dude, let's do something, it's always, let me get in shape first. And obviously that's such a dumb thing, because I tell them, like, you're never, for one, not only, like, are you getting in shape while you're doing this, you're never going to feel like you're in shape enough to be like, okay, let me train fighting.
I think it's purely an ego thing. It's like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like,
I think they believe that, like, I need to start running a little bit more. It's like, dude, if you're already going to run, might as well sign up for jiu-jitsu.
Instead of running, just do jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
I think it's, when I say I think it's an ego thing, I have friends that don't come to the gym because they're like, I'm not in shape yet. It's like, if you've trained and you got a little bit of experience under your belt, once you become tired, you're a piece of shit. That's your first day in class. Everything you've learned is no longer applicable. Like you just get your ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I think they can't take that getting their ass kicked to their ego. And so
Yeah.
like, I got to get in shape I got to beat everybody else up.
Or maybe they think they're gonna get hurt or something. Like you don't want to sign up for a boxing class and you're severely overweight. You're like, everybody's just gonna knock me out because you never been, so you kind of speculate like people are just gonna punch the fuck out of me until
There's a lot of assholes out there that beat people up.
Sure.
And go into gyms, you train martial arts, you've got your ass kicked by assholes.
yeah. That's never happened to me, but I've heard tons of stories like that.
Yeah, there's some assholes out there.
Yeah, of course.
And it's easy to be an asshole and not know it too.
Sure.
Yeah, just being a competitive dude.
Yeah.
Like if you're not tapping to it, I'm cranking on it, and it's like, man, that guy's tired and he's fucking new. Don't crank on it. Don't.
Yeah,
hurt him.
some people think like, if you're caught in a submission or something, you're supposed to learn how to fight out of it, which you are. But I don't think people like. I think there's some people out there that don't tap, not because like they can't take the ego hit of being tapped, but I think they think they're not supposed to. They're supposed to fight out of it, things like that.
Yeah.
And then the person cranking on it is like, oh, this motherfucker thinks he's tough.
For real. That all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, yeah.
I think it's just
My buddy Jason that just called, there is no ego between me and him. Like I know like he thinks he's a fucking piece of shit and he sucks. And so there's no part of him that's like, I'm better than that. When I'm putting him in an arm bar because he's flexible and he's like, it doesn't hurt, and I have it straightened out, and he's trying to fucking roll and fight out of it, and I'm like, your fucking arm's broken so long ago, man.
yeah.
And in his mind, he's not thinking like, I can't let him tap me.
Yeah.
He just really doesn't realize his arm is. Your arm shouldn't be that fucking twisted and tight unless you're fighting for the death. Fighting to the death. Yeah. And to compliment what you were saying is some people don't realize they're in danger.
Yeah, if you don't grow up in a gym, people don't know gym etiquette. You know?
Yeah,
I mean, it's really
for real.
But it's such a great thing for people. So
that's why I want them to keep on going somewhere, even if I don't like the school or the people that run the school or any of that shit. Like I'm just when I leave town and I'm not here anymore, I want them to keep on doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great, dude. Then they could come down and visit Gracie Baja or something.
And that's what I'm trying to fucking slowly schmooze the coaches and whatnot into like, hey, I teach some people out in Longview and I would love for them to come here, but like, I know it's a $20 drop fee and they're already spending $20 in gas. Like, I know like it's like you're being unfair, not charging these people, but is that like, can you make it a little bit of an exception?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm sure they got a lot of students there.
Yeah. It's a big, nice spot, and they have to have a lot of students to pay the bills, I would imagine.
Okay, that makes sense. I was walking around the zoo with my kids the other day, a few months ago, and I just noticed randomly a bunch of people wearing Gracie Baja shirts.
Yeah,
just not together, just
there's
walking
a bunch
around.
of schools all over.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a chain, but
the last place I was training in Portland a couple years ago was a Gracie Baja school, but the schools don't know. They're so far removed from each other. Like none of the people that trained there knew any of the people that trained at this other one. You know, like the guy that ran the other school, the one in Tigard, the one from a couple years ago, Clay. I'm so fucking pumped for Clay Guida to fight, but
he's fighting right now. Dude, I didn't even know he was on the card.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You fucking said you wanted to watch this, and I looked at the card, and I saw Clay Guida.
I did know, but I just forgot because I haven't been paying. I've been so fucking busy with other shit.
So the guy that runs the other school in Tigard, he liked doing jiu-jitsu. He trained for a long time out in Texas and moved here, and he's like, I'd love to fucking open up a school. Like, I know what's up. I fought and stuff, and so he runs his own school. Good coach, love the vibe of the place, but he's not. he's not like really deep into the whole culture of the whole what's going on in Portland. And so he when I talked about other people that are training in Portland, he's like, I don't know who Chris is. I don't know who
Sure.
Dennis Hall. I don't know these guys. And he's just like, I just wanted to I wanted my own school and I wanted to make some money from it, and I'm running it. Anyways, there's like, even though there's 100 Gracie Baja schools around, they don't all fucking intermingle, which I thought was interesting.
I think the opposite of that. I think 10th Planet. I think they all train. They all like go to each other's gyms and train, and they all know.
Yeah, I
each other.
haven't been fucking around with 10th Planet lately. There was one gym I trained at a long time ago. I think it was Nemesis, and they seemed like they were 10th Planet guys. The way he runs this school to what he's doing out in Tigard, didn't seem like he had a couple guys that were really good, and then most of the class was relatively new people and whatnot. And then when I go to the other Gracie Baja that on Mississippi, there's a bunch of fucking killers in there, and they're like they're all competing, and they're like, yeah. Anyways, but I don't know anything about 10th Planet and how affiliated they are. Anyways.
Well, I know you got to master the 10th Planet system. So I think to be a coach at a 10th Planet, you have to be a student, like be a black belt under somebody that
Oh, really?
was a 10th Planet. Yeah.
I wonder. I don't think that's how Barra works.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't
Like a Gracie black belt.
Yeah,
Be a
no,
coach.
but I don't think they even have to train under somebody that's trained under.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I think you have to get, but they do. That school would randomly have a Gracie black belt come to and then hang out and teach classes for a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
And so and then they would pay for them to come over, and then that guy would be teaching classes for a couple weeks, and then they would leave.
Do they do a lot of seminars and stuff there?
They do some seminars, yeah.
Did you go to the Chael Sonnen one at Juggernaut? Were you
No.
still going at that point?
No.
Oh, you weren't? I was fucking pissed. I missed that. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I haven't been in it a little bit, but if I would have known about it, I would have at least done that.
I remember when I was fighting back in the day, seeing Chael Sonnen, he'd like ref a fight or be or he'd be around.
Oh, really?
I'd see him around and I would talk shit to him randomly. Like this is like when right around the time he was fighting Anderson Silva, so 6-8 years ago, 10 years ago, and man, I would just walk up and say bullshit stuff, just things that were obviously a joke, but that were all also too like be taken the wrong way real easily.
Sure.
Like
I think he himself says things like that.
and I'd be like, "Oh, it's Chael's son," and everybody bow. I've never met the guy in my life. He's like, he looks at me, and he's like, "Why aren't you bowing?" Like, just every time I had an interaction with him, which was just brief, and that was the end of it. And I would laugh, hug him or something.
Sure.
And I wouldn't even just go off on my own way. And but he was always so tuned into that shit. So like his sense of humor, his like polite. He was a polite guy, nice guy, like humble, like just not ever like even nice, polite, humble guys. When you fucking joke with them and say some stupid shit, you can piss them off real quick.
Yeah.
And he never. He was funny.
Yeah, he says some wild shit too. That's
He says some wild shit.
I think Chael Sonnen is the reason why Colby Covington did his whole MAGA thing and started talking shit. Yeah. Did you hear the story about Colby?
No, I know. Yeah, I know that they were looking to cut him. He was like 6-0 or something.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You boring fucking wrestling humping fucking sleeping motherfucker," and we're gonna cut you. And he's like, "I got to do something to get people to watch me."
Yeah, and I think Chael's the one that said like,
"Oh, really?
Hey, say this and that, and fucking love or hate you, the UFC will keep you." Clay Guida is so fucking fast, dude.
Old?
He's definitely old. I can't believe
The bald spot man. You need to shave his head."
Yeah. Yeah, dude. He normally comes in with that long ass hair, like that. He
It's
looks
all
like
falling out. He didn't cut it. It's just falling out. He's getting
Yeah.
old.
He walks in like he looks like he plays guitar from Metallica. His hair was always long as shit. I'm surprised how fast he is. I might be thinking he's older than he actually is because he's been fighting for so long.
He's at least 75. Look
Yeah,
at him.
He has to be with that many fights. How many fights did you see? Holy shit, he clipped him.
Did he clip him or slip?
It looked like he clipped
Yeah.
him. Still a team alpha male guy. Silva's fucking
Was that a
good,
kick? Did he
too.
get kicked or punched?
I missed it.
Clay got cracked.
Oh, did he pull guard or slip?
No, he got cracked and he was getting he was dazed and he needed to fucking grab him, get a hold of him. Like
It almost looked like he pulled guard.
he's trying to. 'Cause he
Pulled
got-
half guard. Pull half guard.
Ooh.
Oh shit, he's rocked.
He's been rocked.
The thing is, like,
Oh no! You got to
can't-
move,
oh,
Clay.
man.
You got to move. You got to grab and roll and
It's one
fucking.
of those elbows you don't see coming, right on the side of the temple,
He needs to start shooting. He's doesn't know.
or pull guard at this point.
Yeah,
Fuck
pull
it.
guard. Yeah, he's gonna get fucking cracked again with one of those elbows.
Yeah. The thing is, you can't wait for Clay Guida to slow down to start going because he never slows down.
And now the other guy, fucking Silva, put some steam on him. Fucking lowered his energy bar down pretty good.
Yeah. And it's dropping as we speak as he's
Yeah.
defending the single. Spun him.
Yep,
Ooh,
yep. And then his
ooh.
energy, like getting up like that was tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I love seeing that. I don't remember. I was listening to a podcast with a UFC fighter, and for some reason, I can't think of it off the top of my head who it was. But he said the problem with jiu-jitsu guys is they're too comfortable on their back. So when their back hits the floor, when they should be popping up right away, they're comfortable on the
Yep.
ground, so they stay down.
Yep.
And then a lot of the times, unless you're a guy like Paul Craig or something, it goes bad for you.
No, even if you're fucking Paul Craig, even if you're Damian Maya, even
Yeah.
if you're fucking Jacare, like you
Yeah.
can't hang out on your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's a really bad, and that's something that I've recently learned. Within no, I don't know if it's recent, but like there's a point where I feel so dangerous off my back, like I can get submissions, like I'm attacking you from my back. But if somebody that's a good wrestler and has good defense, he's just gonna smash me and hold me down. Like I can't do anything on my back if they're cautious. Like, and so I gotta get up. I gotta get on top.
And just as dangerous you are on the on bottom, if you hit a sweep, you're the same amount of dangerous on top, but there's not the pressure of a guy on top of you. You can get off more.
I think as soon as you sweep and you get on top, they're exerting so much more effort. If they don't want to be there, if they don't want to be grappling from the bottom, they're exerting a lot of effort to get up, and you're wearing them out. And I would make the argument that you're more dangerous from top, almost unanimously. Like,
Yeah.
always. Like,
You think of a guy like Damian Maya, yeah, he's slick and really good off his back, but his top game is fucking next level because he doesn't have the danger of somebody on top of him.
I make the argument that being on top is a more dangerous place to be in as a grappler.
Yes.
That was a nasty choke. It made him fall to his back.
Yeah, I'm surprised he got side control out of that. I think Silva's gonna essentially let him work back up. That's where he wants him. His body hooks were nasty. Oh, that knee hurt him.
Silva's making sense of this.
Oh, and he got clipped, but holy shit. This is essentially how you have to fight Clay Guida.
Dude, if you don't have an infinite gas tank and you're fighting Clay Guida, you're that looks nasty.
I think he might have made a mistake right there. That looks like it's deep, but I think he might have made a mistake right there.
He needs to put his hands across his head. Clay Guida needs to reach his hands up and pry his face back.
Yeah.
And he can pry his head out.
Yeah.
He has to do that.
It's really, he's trying to bump him
oh,
up. There it is.
and Clay Guida
bumped
didn't
him off.
do
Yeah,
that.
see, I think that was a mistake.
Yeah. People in practice will tap to that, but when you're fighting somebody to the death in a fight, they're not going to tap to that. Like,
Yeah.
man, there's so many bad habits people learn from practice like that. People tap into shit too early, and I mean, there's also this double-edged sword. Like, if you don't tap,
Yeah.
you're fucking getting broke.
Yeah, you really have to know your training partners.
There's like when I'm wrestling with Wayne, Wayne's tapped somebody out with like a certain heel hook over 10,000 years or however old he is, forever. Has done it a million times, and he's putting me in a heel hook, and I'm letting him twist it, and he's like, I want to break that. I'm like, he ain't gonna break it, and he's not able to break it, and it's people tap to it all the time, and he thinks he could fucking break my ankle, and he can't. There's often too, like, I don't think he can do something, and he doesn't. And I'm like,
Sure.
and I'm like, twist it. Let's do this slow. Let's go real slow. Twist on it. I don't think it's. It's gonna break. All right. Never mind. I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
He showed me something I'd never seen before in my life. I had him in a rear naked choke.
Broke your ankles.
And yeah, he got it. And my feet are really flexible, so it basically became a game of like, is he gonna pass out or are my legs gonna break? It's almost like who's gonna hit it first.
I've
never seen that in my life.
I remember back in the day letting people take my back to let them cross their ankles, and I would put them in the. They cross their ankles, and I fucking will break that top foot.
Yeah. Yep.
You do that one time to somebody, they never do it again. They're like, all right, not crossing my ankles.
Yeah. Or
that trick doesn't work.
Yeah. Or get the body triangle or something. Much more effective, but
even the body triangle will break your fucking ankle if I'll roll to that side.
Sure, that too. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people give up the body triangle when they roll into it. Oh, here we go.
Like, Clay's definitely making this a fucking dog fight.
Dude, I know you didn't watch the prelims because you were probably on your dirt bike flying ass here, but
I got dropped off here.
Oh, good. I almost would have felt guilty with you flying in the rain, but there was a fight. Joe Selecki fought. Joe Selecki lost, and I'm embarrassed because I can't remember the guy's name who he lost to. Anyways, Joe Selecki had this guy in an armbar, and he picked him up and slammed him on the side of his head and knocked him out, and the dude got the win. The next fight, dude got him in a triangle, and this dude picked him up. Cody Brundage picked him up in the triangle, turned him to the side and slammed him on the side of the head 2 in a row. 2 knockout slams in a row.
That's what's up. Who is that? There's a black dude, Jeff Niehoff or something. Jeff Neal.
Sounds like a joke.
No.
Jeff Neal, yeah.
Jeff Neal. Is he a big, fucking gnarly black dude?
Yes.
Jeff
Middleweight,
Neal.
I think. Or welterweight. I think he's a welterweight.
Whatever he is. I remember watching him in IFL way back in the day.
Oh, really?
And he knocked a guy out he picked him up. He was like, he was just in guard. The guy was in guard, and Jeff's on top. So Jeff stands up, and then when he goes to slam the guy, he before he slams the guy, he's standing up, he grabs his head and pushes it, and then slams it to the
I saw that actually.
Knocks him the fuck out.
Yes.
I remember I saw that, and I was like, I'm training that now. So when somebody locks on their guard, in practice, I'd get up a foot and drop somebody, but I'm pushing their head, and they smack their head on the ground and rock my sparring partners all the time. But I thought it was a good habit to be in when somebody's locking up something. Like, I'm conscious once I've elevated them where their head's gonna hit, how to get their head to hit the ground.
That's
first.
the most important part, because if somebody has you in a triangle or something, and you go to pick them up and you jump right on top of them,
you could roll.
They sink in the triangle.
Yeah.
And then you got the slam, but you're fucked. When you turn a guy to the side like that, your momentum isn't going deeper into the submission. If anything, you're forcing a lot of momentum away the other way till you're gonna get out of it. But people are clearly getting knocked out from getting slammed on the side of their head.
He did that in the UFC, so he did that in the IFL, and knocked somebody the fuck out. And then one of his first or second fight in the UFC, it was a similar
Oh,
situation.
that's probably the one I'm thinking
And he
of.
smashes the guy and knocks the guy. It did the same exact thing, but it's like he ends up lifting up and grabbing the head and moving the head over, and then doing his best to slam the brainstem on the ground.
Yeah, I think halfway down, whoever has him in a submission, I think halfway down, they're like, I should have let go.
Well, you're yeah. As soon as somebody starts grabbing my head to slam me, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
best
like
case
being
scenario,
elevated, dude.
You got somebody in a guillotine and they start standing up. You don't have the hooks in or something. They start standing up. I'm back to my feet. I'm not gonna sink it in when they stand up and let them slam me. I'm standing on my feet at that point.
Yeah, I want to see that replay.
Oh, dude, I hope they show it. It was nasty. It was fucking nasty. 2 of them in a row, same way. The armbar one was so impressive because, I mean, how much leverage can you get when somebody you're the same weight as you has their whole body on your arm, enough to turn them, but not only just pick them up, but turn them and drop them. It was fucking wild. Joe Selecki is good as shit too.
Ooh,
That was a nasty uppercut. Timed him perfect. He landed a head kick a minute ago too.
Silva doesn't seem like he's slowing down.
Yeah, he really doesn't. I mean, I expect that out of Clay, but Silva seems like I think he has his timing down. Clay Guida ducked right into a head kick, and then obviously ducked right into that uppercut. That front kick is nasty too. Oh man. Silva looks like something out of like a street MMA movie.
Yeah, he does. He's yoked.
Yeah. You see this fight in a movie, you're like, that don't even look real.
Ooh, good timing from Clay. Just stand up, Clay. Stand up. Get him under your back. Get your hips under you. Lean back. No.
He's driving. He's dropping back down again.
And you go to yeah. Holding your weight on him. Trying to tire him out, but
Yeah.
he gets out. This is where Clay needs to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Silva has nasty elbows.
He just needs to get out of that. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Also, when you're in a position like this and you're Clay, you're winning the fight. Like you're winning this moment of the fight.
Sure.
How much that like comes in. Again.
Yeah, I was hoping he wouldn't do that. It looks like it was tighter last time. There you go. Stay on the feet.
Oh, we got a takedown from it. Even if you don't finish it, you advance position.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he's going to cut him right here. That left knee up. Slice him with an elbow.
Oh, getting up. Getting to his back.
Clay's, all those Team Alpha male guys are so good at getting up from the cage. It's almost impossible to hold him down. Woo. What a good fight. That's fight of the night so far. was nasty.
Was it you see that Nate Diaz is supposedly fighting Jake Paul in an MMA fight?
Yeah, I saw it got offered to him a lot of times, and for some reason he was turning it down. I think I'm speculating the reason why that he's turning it down is because it's in the PFL.
That Nate's turning it down?
Yeah, because
He wanted to fight in the UFC.
yeah. So Nate's a free agent, and Jake is signed to PFL.
Yeah.
So they let him box and stuff, but
Yeah.
if he takes an MMA fight, it has to be in PFL. They just bought Bellator too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I guess they're keeping it separate. So the Bellator fighters are going to fight. The PFL fighters are going to
We
fight.
cross though.
Yeah, and then the
That's
champions are going to fight
cool.
each other.
Those are both those promotions have some really good guys. That'd be cool
Yeah.
to see the fight each other. Yeah.
But I don't think they acquired everybody in Bellator because I think they told the guys like, this is how many fights are on your contract. This is how many fights we have left. And I think some guys, I'm pretty sure Michael Venom Page is going to the UFC.
I saw that where there's like a little snapshot where they see Dana White's
Yeah.
fucking screen, and it's would be the best fight against Page. Who was it? What the fuck is his name?
I know I saw it too, and I don't remember. He's a 170 welterweight.
God, his face is in my mind right now. Has a cool knockout over Jacare.
Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland.
Yes,
This
dude. That
I'm
fucking
so
nasty.
I that's the fight I'm most excited to watch right
Me
now.
too.
Yeah. There's
Me
no other
too.
fight that's going on.
I think Kevin beats him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I think Kevin beats him.
I don't think Mike's lost once against any Avengers loss.
Yeah. He lost to he got knocked out.
Yeah, that nasty was getting up and
Diego Lima.
Yeah, Lima.
Lima, yeah.
I have to go pee.
That was nasty. Yeah, go ahead. He was getting up and got knocked out. Joaquin Silva, winner in unanimous decision. Clay Guida has been fighting for so long. It's super impressive for a guy like Joaquin Silva to beat a guy like Clay, even though he was probably, I don't know what the odds are, he was probably a favorite. But just the experience of Clay, and Joaquin has only had a couple UFC fights. For him to out-technique Clay Guida like that, somebody who has so much experience and so much skills, he's been against so many different styles, to go in there and beat him in a unanimous decision was super impressive. Chuck Liddell in the crowd. Coming up, Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. That fight is fucking nasty. Brandon Royval is a fucking savage. I bet on Alexander Pantoja to beat Brandon Moreno. Cashed out good that fight.
It was like something from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in your bathroom, bunch of like Barbies, like heads twisted around and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't have kids, so. There we go. Leon versus Colby.
Yeah, I thought I still think Edwards is going to lose. I thought he was going to lose twice against.
Yeah, I'm with
Usman
you on
and-
that. It's kind of crazy to say Leon, somebody who's beat Kamaru Usman twice. I mean, essentially, he lost the first round, he was losing the first fight.
Yeah,
the head
up
kick.
until yeah. But then he beat his
fight-
ass.
Yeah, second fight obviously dominated, but I think Colby is just a guy that has more relentless takedowns.
I think he's going to wrestle way more than
I think so,
what
too.
Usman did. I think
Yeah.
it's going to
He will.
F up.
He will. I mean, even Colby's fight with Kamaru, he lost by the jab, the body hook, the body uppercut.
He's having trouble taking him down and wrestling him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think that relentless pressure is going to be a different fight against Leon. This fight I'm super fucking excited for, dude. I'm a huge Sean Brady guy.
I always thought Kevin Gastelum was just a mean, tough, gnarly fighter.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. He,
Is he fighting at 185?
170.
Okay, I was gonna
Apparently
say
he's got his weight under control now.
I always thought he should fight at 170. I thought 185
Yeah.
was way too big for him.
Yeah, I think he had a problem smoking weed and couldn't lose as much weight as he wanted to get to 170. Yeah.
Who'd you hear that from?
Him, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's the one that said it.
I just smoked
think
too
he was
much
smoking
weed.
a lot of weed and eating too much, so he would miss weight
Oh man,
by just a couple pounds. Sometimes
that's a
it was just
weird
couple pounds.
Part of discipline not to have on lock.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a weird.
From a disciplined guy like Kelvin Gastelum. Remember, so Michael Bisping lost the belt to George St. Pierre at 185 in a fantastic fight. Then a couple weeks later takes a short because remember he got dropped in that
Yeah, he
fight,
got
but
knocked
he
out.
got choked out.
Yeah.
So he technically didn't get a knockout loss, so there was no suspension.
Yeah.
Because he got choked.
Oh, yeah, right off the bat.
Yeah, then like a month or two later, he takes a
gets
short notice
knocked
fight
the
against
fuck
Kelvin Gastelum, and Kelvin Gastelum knocks him the fuck out. Which, granted, it was probably because he got really hurt in that GSP fight, but also, if that GSP fight never happened, then Kelvin Gastelum's a 185-pound champ.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah. Right.
if it played out the same.
Always thought Michael Bisping was the least talented human being on the planet.
It seems like it.
Yeah. Kevin, I can't not being able to discipline yourself enough to have the right diet. I mean, it's to have a conversation with him about it. Man,
I think he was like 24 at the time that stuff was happening too, so he was still relatively young.
yes, yeah.
I don't think he's that old.
I'm excited for watch him fight. I always thought he was a fighter's fighter.
Yeah, he's a savage. He has really, really good boxing. His boxing's a little underrated because he has really good wrestling and stuff. But I think Sean Brady probably hits a little bit harder. Probably has a little bit more technical striking, and I think he has better jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Sean Brady's a bad motherfucker.
yeah.
Dude.
So that's a favorite, you think?
I'm not sure. Sean Brady was on like a 10-fight win streak, and then just lost to Bilal Muhammad.
Okay.
Which, I mean, look at him now. He was beating a lot of people back then. He was on a huge win streak, too.
Then Benal is fighting tonight too, right?
Yeah. Benil, yeah.
Benil?
You know he
Benal?
fought in Glory?
No.
I used to watch him fight in Glory back in the day.
Kickboxing or
Yeah,
MMA?
Kickboxing.
What?
Yeah, and then he comes in the UFC and he's like submitting everybody, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? I couldn't believe it. He wasn't like a headliner in Glory,
he was
but
fighting.
still. But he was fighting.
You're still fighting
Yeah.
against the best in the world.
Absolutely.
Kickboxing, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was a bad motherfucker in Glory, too. It seems like he's a step behind with his stand-up in the UFC. He kind of gets outstruck, which really surprised me. Yeah, I think Kelvin is probably faster than Sean Brady, though. I'm really rooting for Sean Brady, but I think Kelvin is probably a bit faster. I think he was 24 when he won the Ultimate Fighter against Uriah Hall.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's Court McGee.
Ripped his head off.
Yeah.
Oh, stayed on.
He has very good jiu-jitsu. Submitted Michael Chiesa.
I've been working the arm triangle for the last 2 months with people I'm training with.
You gain any?
Not really. I can get into it better. I can get into the position, but I still can't. Still not good at finishing it. I think it's such a hard for me. I need somebody that's really good at arm triangles to show me the ins and outs of it and work with me.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah,
Chris is that fucking
yeah.
guy.
He was a. I honestly thought arm triangles could not submit you until Chris submitted me with an arm triangle. And
Dude, I used to do them to my friends, and I'm like, it felt like we could just live there.
yeah, I
I'm
could
like,
live there.
dude,
Yeah, yeah.
Just fucking like, I'm like, dude, this has to be doing something. No,
No,
nothing.
it feels tight. Your head's they're squeezing them, and it's
Yeah.
like there's nothing I can do better.
Yeah.
It's perfect, and
Yeah.
you're not tight. Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it. It's still I've been working for a couple months trying to get them better.
Dude, I thought I was the only one, so that's good to hear. I fucking gave up on those.
I'm not gonna give up on them until I get them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You can get into them.
There's guys that like that even guys are so good at them that people will do like the defense for it and stuff and try and
Answer
create
the phone,
space
yeah.
and stuff. And even with them actively trying to create space, people will still fucking get it and
sync
tap
it up.
them or-
Yeah,
or
even with
choke
the
them.
answering the phone and whatnot.
Yeah.
What I found when somebody starts answering the phone, I fucking Kimura them. So like I'm
Yeah.
having the arm triangle, I just reach up
Yeah.
and I grab the arm and it bends your fucking arm in such a I'm bending this back.
Yeah.
And so I can submit people with that, but I don't want to give up on the choke yet.
Yeah, that's why it's so impressive to see guys get that, even when people are actively defending it. Because I can't, like, even if you're not defending it, I can't get that fucking thing.
And when
It's crazy.
when I was at the club in Portland, I was like, all right, I need to work on my arm triangle, finish it. So put me in an arm triangle, finish me, and they choke me in it. I was like, let me defend. Let me just shrug my shoulders and just put me deep in it. And now let me just shrug a little bit, and they can't submit me. And then I'm like, all right, I can't learn anything from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, I just don't do that. Like, that's not a submission I go to. Like,
Yeah.
you're asking the wrong dude.
When you set up, are you in side control? You set it up and then you step over? Obviously, you
Yeah,
can
I
do
just
from
get into
mount,
it from
things
a
like that, but-
billion different places.
Okay.
Yeah. Often it's from. I like doing the side control thing where you get side control and you take the arm that's in your belly and I do like a figure 4 on it and I pick it up like I can step over the head and arm bar.
Oh, yeah.
And so I go from there to arm triangle. That's like how I can just get into it
Gotcha.
all day long.
Gotcha.
When I lock the arm down, start fucking with the arm, and I sink in the arm triangle. And so, but I get into it from a million different ways.
Sure.
But no matter how well I set it up, sometimes I get it and somebody's like, oh, we're going to rip my head off. I'm like, okay. I don't know how that was any different than the 30 times that failed.
Yes.
It all it feels the same to me.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Hopefully you figure it out for the both of us.
No, I will. I will. I haven't yet. Haven't found. Like I was saying, I was going from coach to coach at the gym, having them choke me. Students too, everybody like choke me. See if you can choke me when if I let you put me in an arm triangle and I'm fucking sunk in, and then I defend it, then you try to finish it, and if you can't finish it, just from
Yeah,
you're doing
just
something
that
wrong.
little space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What a crazy
Chris
choke.
would kill me with it.
Yeah, me too.
Several times, and I was like, oh, I just can't let him get that deep. I can't let him get an arm triangle position on me because he's gonna fucking.
Yeah. He would go to set it up, like showing the class or something. He'd put his arm under my head and turn, and before he even like locked it up,
Yeah, even
I'd be
grabbing
like,
Yeah, I'm
speed
getting
this up,
dizzy.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But then like you said, when you do get it, you're like, that's what I did 30 times and it only worked once. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know what was different. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super interested to. You don't think of that as like a black belt technique. That's something people learn when they're relatively new. So it's weird how complex it is.
I think like the difference I feel from like not a black belt is like this idea of like somebody being really good at what they do, but not just that core meaning of it. Like somebody's really proficient at this arm bar or this toe hold or this knee bar, this choke. The black belt takes something really basic and does it so fucking well that people that did that to you and they couldn't submit you in it, they can submit you with it because they have better control. They're so far ahead of you with this thing. They honed this one weapon so well, and that's what my understanding of like being a black belt is like, being really good at basic things like that, like, and then being able to fuck people. Have been armbarred a million times, and every time somebody goes to armbar them, they roll out or they have their way of getting out of the armbar, and then you can't do that with a black belt because they're tuned into it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You ever trained in a gi? Or you just did
Yeah,
no-gi?
I fucked around with it. Not much, but like, I'll go to. There's times where I've gone to schools and they only do gi, and so I just I put the gi on.
Gotcha. I've only done no-gi. I always thought no-gi probably was best for like MMA fighting or something, because you learn like collar chokes and things. But when you're in the gi, but
Yeah, I think it's I think it would be safe to say if you trained 10 years in a gi or 10 years without a gi and you went to MMA, what you've learned with no gi would translate better to MMA
Sure.
than gi. Yeah,
sure. But
doing something's better than nothing though.
yeah, a lot of people say it's still very important to train in the gi, which I totally understand. But when you're in a fist fight with
I've never had a guy that trained in a gi, and I wrestled with him, and we were doing no gi that he was like he seemed better, like he had some secret sauce because
Sure.
he trained in the gi all the time.
Sure. Sean Brady already got the back, dude. His wrestling is so good.
Crossing the ankles, break the ankles.
Yeah.
As soon as he'd lift his leg up, he would uncross his ankles, I bet.
Yeah. Weighing out in the crowd. What the fuck are you doing? He's gonna get the body.
Trying
triangle.
to. I take that left, Kelvin's left leg and try to put it up over his ankle. You get his back of his knee behind his ankle, and then you could put so much pressure on the right leg that's across his waist, and you can break it. You know that one?
Mm-hmm.
And that sometimes people are really long and we're really flexible and it doesn't work. But
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it does.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know I had flexible feet till
Until
Wayne
somebody
did that to me.
Wayne tried to break you.
Yeah. Sean had that hook behind his left knee. He had the body triangle with the hook under his
Yeah,
left
you
knee.
gotta fucking
Pulls out of
fight.
it.
Gotta
Ooh,
fight.
That was nasty.
Yep.
That
There
was
you go.
nasty. That's super impressive to get out of being in that deep with Sean Brady.
Sean fucked up with like letting go of the lock.
Yeah.
Dude, you're fighting so hard, both of them right now.
Yeah.
How much energy?
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's relax for a second.
Sean has good cardio and he can get hit.
Ooh, is that
Oh,
a
man.
jab?
It looked like Kelvin was coming forward when he got hit.
It
too.
came. I think he was coming forward and got cracked with a stiff jab.
Yeah. I think the one place visibly Sean struggles is against the cage. Not when somebody's pushing him against the cage, but when like he doesn't have enough room to move around, he kind of almost slows down and he's a little more stationary.
Thinking a lot.
Yeah, when somebody cuts him off like this,
Oof, that was cool.
that was slick. Two
He had a
jabs.
little single leg, kind of like a little ankle pick.
Yeah.
No, don't go to your back. Yeah, don't let him get your back.
Again, it wasn't good the first time.
Yeah, go to your go to your back and give him your belly.
Kelvin's a guy that he can get somebody gets something deep on him and he just pulls it out of
Yeah.
the fire. He's always been special like that. Hook the leg. Sean is a monster here. He doesn't use much energy and he just advances inch by inch. Sean is like a fucking roadblock.
No, it's cute.
Slick trip.
Yeah, a little trip.
Kelvin has small legs. Kelvin Gastelum unranked. That's kind of odd. Maybe he's just unranked at 170.
What was his last couple fights? I haven't been watching him lately. He said
He fought
I thought he wasn't doing well for a minute.
he wasn't, but
Ooh,
he's coming off a win. I can't remember who it was to.
fucking just Velcro to his back.
Yeah, dude, he is so slick on the ground. He's just so
Crossing
good
his
at,
ankles. Get his ankle broken.
so good at keeping position. That's why it's so impressive to see Kelvin just fucking. Looks like it's almost a checkmate. And then just fucking back to
He's
who
a whole.
knows. Yeah, it's crazy. If I had my phone, I'd look it up. Kevin Gastelum just came off of a win to somebody relative. I think if Kelvin wasn't such a good wrestler, Sean would be throwing more low kicks.
Beat up Curtis.
Chris Curtis, yeah. Chris Curtis. He trains out of Extreme Couture.
Yeah,
in
he's
Vegas.
lost his. He lost 2 fights before that one.
Yeah. Chris Curtis was climbing up the ranks too. Trains with Sean Strickland in Vegas, Extreme Couture. You ever been there?
I used to fight from Extreme Couture, not the one in Vegas,
Oh.
but the one they had an Extreme Couture in Vancouver for a while, for like a year, and I trained there was fighting out of there.
I went to Vegas on vacation one time, and we went to go visit the gym, like we always do. And I think I was like 16. My stepdad's like, I brought your MMA gear. Why don't you step in there? I was so fucking scared, dude, but it was sweet. It was so sweet. I met Tyson Griffin there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was fucking sweet, dude.
That fat little legged fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Vegas is such a good place to train because you got home field advantage because there's so many fights in Vegas. I remember UFC was supposed to come to Portland right before they got shut down for COVID and the whole Fight
really?
Island thing. They were coming to Portland again. I went the first time.
I know. Yeah, they went the first. I know they had the one here at the Motor Center or whatever, and then they didn't sell like half the tickets.
That doesn't. Well, the headliner was super exciting to me, but
was
it was
Randy
John Dodson versus John Lineker.
I thought Randy Couture fought on the card. No,
No, he didn't fight.
no.
Maybe no. This wasn't that long ago. I think 2015.
Yeah, I think in 2015 or something, like 7 years.
I think the headliner fell out. That's why John Dodson and John Lineker headlined. But they're 135 pounds. And, I mean, it was super exciting for me, but I think a lot of people didn't know who they were.
No, yeah. So from what I understand, I remember watching interviews with Dana, and he's like, I'm not going back to Portland. If Randy Couture can sell out the fucking Motor Center or wherever they were fighting at. So they did like the worst gate sales ever.
That was probably before.
Okay.
It had to have been before.
I mean, it was when Randy was fighting. So
Yeah.
whenever that was, I don't before he was champ.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Champ the last time.
Yeah.
Oh, it could have been like 2006 or something. So they had another fight in Portland since then?
Yeah, John Lineker, John Dodson. I
Was
wanna
it a
say
UFC or was it a
Fight
fight
night?
night? It was a fight night.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a UFC pay-per-view event that they had
Yes.
that I'm talking about.
Cowboy Oliveira fought. He was a co-main event against a guy came over from Bellator, fought in the co-main. He was a really good dude in Bellator. He fought Michael Chandler before. I don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but he's a really good dude.
Yeah, Kelvin's getting his fucking ass kicked.
Yeah, dude. Sean Brady's so good. Anyways,
But COVID shut it down.
COVID shut it down. I put in vacation already, and my boss came over and he's like, "Hey, they don't want people taking vacations during COVID." And I was like, "It's fine, dude. They canceled the UFC fight I was gonna go to anyways." I was fucking pissed, and I thought as soon as COVID was over, they're gonna come to Portland, and so they haven't been in like 8 years.
Let's get some good seats when they come.
I would fucking love.
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Let's.
I will definitely be there. Paige Van Zant was there, and when I went, and Joseph Benavidez was there, just walking
That's
around
what's
saying what's
up.
up to everybody.
Yeah, let's. When next time there's an event, let's get some fucking front row seats.
Yeah,
I don't mind spending a few $100 or whatever it costs.
Yeah, I would fucking love that. I'm really surprised I haven't been back. I thought it was gonna be the first place I came back to. I bought a Sean Brady shirt a couple years ago.
Would you just go by yourself? Or would you just get one ticket for yourself?
I
You'd
went
bring
with
the wifey?
my buddy that was with us last time, Justin. I went with him and my cousin.
Would you bring people to the if you got some front row seats, or what would you do?
I doubt my wife would want to go because like we went from the first fight and there was like nobody there.
I see the
we
crowds are
stayed, like-
empty.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I want to see the first fight.
We
I
were there like 4 hours.
I want to get blood splattered on me for 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I saw Yair Rodriguez there too, but he had so many people around him taking pictures with them. It was way before he was big in the UFC, so I didn't get to say what's up to him. But I was surprised there was a lot of stars in the audience.
Yeah, the Motor Center's less than a mile from my place. It's like right across. It's right
dude.
across the street. Yeah.
Badass.
And my girlfriend, because she works at a Legacy,
Oh yeah.
there's a Legacy, like a satellite hospital to the hospital she works in that's connected to the Motor Center, pretty much like right across. Like literally, there's a parking garage for the Motor Center, and then right next to that parking garage is where one of her work is, and you have to have an employee parking permit to park there.
Yeah.
But we have an employee parking permit.
Oh, that's badass.
So we save
dude.
$40 for parking.
That's badass.
If we're too lazy to walk the half a mile.
yeah. Yeah, you get free parking anyways. That's sweet, dude.
Yeah, we went and saw Hosier at Moda Center.
Oh, did you?
And just it's cool. That's one of the cool things about living in Portland. The shit's like right next to you.
Yeah. About one of the only cool things about living in Portland.
Yeah, we got our car broken into. We've been there
Say.
2 weeks.
Surprised your motorcycle's still there.
Well, somebody tried to break into the motorcycle too.
You don't say.
Yeah. The next week. But we have a parking garage, and there's like a gate that you have to have a pass to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody ran into the gate and broke it, and so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just lifted up, and now people can fucking go and steal shit.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Me and Krista lived in Kelso together. She lived there for 9 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the next door neighbor sold meth. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was a meth house, a crack house, and never once had our car broken into. In 6 years living next to a meth house in Kelso,
Yep.
but living in Portland for 2 weeks in it's a nice fucking like apartment complex and what.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they didn't steal. It had a couple $100 in the car, but they took her bag out and like took everything out of her bag, but didn't take anything out of her bag. They took her wallet out and they took everything out of her wallet and it got the debit card. And that was and then there was $200 in the wallet, and that's the only thing they took out of the car. They were just assholes.
Yeah, they're probably fucking high out of their minds. I lived in South Kelso for a year, and my neighbor, it was like a halfway house. My neighbor would walk around South Kelso and steal stuff and bring it back to our neighborhood and try and sell it to us.
Yep.
But he never stole anything from us. He would just try and sell us.
You
some
don't shit where you eat.
Yeah.
That's like the fucking a golden rule when you're a fucking little thiever like that. Like
Yeah.
you don't steal shit on your neighborhood around your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like you go a couple blocks over.
Yeah, I'd get home from work and he'd be like, "You want to buy 40
Yep.
feet LED lights?" I'm like, "What the fuck would I want that for?
How much?
Put them around your fence, dude." I'm like, "I'm good, dude." These two lesbians.
Yeah,
moved
talking
in.
about arm triangles.
Yeah,
looks like
let's
he's,
fucking see it live. Let's see it work live. There he is answering the phone.
nope, nobody does it.
There's quite a bit of space there.
He's working. Oh yeah, I rolled to it. So yeah. Now he's gonna go for the arm lock, the straight
he's
arm
got the
bar.
wrist.
This is another thing I think is great if people are good at it.
Yeah.
You get it around the head.
Pass.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
he
Oh,
passed.
it's done.
Woo!
It
my
wasn't
God.
done.
Oh my god. Dude, a guy like Sean Brady ripping on your arm. Holy shit.
It gets.
Oh, he tapped
I was
him.
gonna say that was looking like it was gonna fucking break.
Dude.
Ooh.
Sean Brady's jiu-jitsu coach is Dean Lister.
Oh yeah, I remember watching
fuck
Dean back in
yeah,
the day. Like, I watched him fight, or not fight, wrestle a bit, and I never really understood why he was such a respected person around. But Dean Lister back in the day was just like a really well respected
Sure.
jiu-jitsu coach.
Yeah. Still is. Guys, like, everybody he trains is super slick. He's almost like a John Danaher, where like clearly really good at the basics, but he makes these small changes to finish submissions. That was slick, dude. I can't believe he lasted that long in that.
You need he needs to roll into him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't. I don't know if you just
Super impressive for Sean Brady. I'm so excited for him.
I would like to have seen Kelvin hip up and try to roll into his arm. See if he could have. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might not have been the right. That looked like it was getting close to breaking.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, he was on the verge. Right after my daughter was born, these two lesbians moved in next door when we lived in South Kelso. And I'm at work. I'm working at Les Schwab doing tires and shit. And my wife calls me and she's like, the neighbor's house is fully engulfed in flames. She had to take my daughter out and run down the block.
Yeah, house fire next to you can cause your house to get. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hot.
absolutely.
It's
Especially
hot.
in South Kelso, we were like this close.
Dude, it's hot.
Oh, fuck, dude. They were flicking cigarettes out because they always had like junkie parties where like a bunch of junkies would come over and just get
That's
fucked
fun.
up. And they were flicking cigarettes. Like they would smoke a cigarette and just
Yeah,
flick
they
'em,
just get
and then
done.
caught their porch on fire.
Oh fuck!
Their
They had
port-
1,000 butts and shit dry
Yeah.
out.
Dude,
hanging.
it was so dry rotted that the cigarette didn't directly cause the fire. The smoke went up into the attic and burned the attic. So the fire was on top of them. And the I guess the police department was like, police department or fire department, whoever showed up first was banging on the door and nobody would wake up. So they had to break the door down to save them.
Sounds like South Kelso.
Yeah.
Was that South
Yeah.
Kelso you said?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My girlfriend's sister works at the Minute Mart in South Kelso. If you take get off the bridge, you take a right, and there's that first little Minute Mart.
Yeah, I lived right across the street.
She works there. I was like, you probably work in the sketchiest fucking place you could possibly work in all of this area.
Yeah,
And
no
she's like,
shit.
well, you go a little bit farther down South Kelso. There's another Minute Mart that's even sketchier.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But that's the only
I've
other
never been
place.
in there.
I've never been there. It's so sketchy. I've never been there. We lived here our whole lives. Never been to this place. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody got that that one really nice chick was working the Texaco down the block from them and got fucking killed in there.
Yeah, that's the one closer to my place where I was living. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was so sad. And they're in like that's technically like a worse area down there.
No. South Kelso. Would you say South Kelso's worse?
Like the Texaco
The-
seems like a better spot.
Yeah,
being
right.
than-
For real. It
than the
is
other one.
definitely 100 without a doubt.
And then
That's
that chick gets killed there. It's like nobody's safe. Dude.
yeah, but it was people from out of town, from what I understand, right?
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I was walking around Portland a couple days ago in my neighborhood because I moved to Mississippi, which is right next to the Moda Center, and so I'm seeing like the Minute Marts around here. I'm just bored walking around, and I stopped at this Minute Mart and I'm talking to this guy, and they have bars on their windows and shit, and it looks Sketchville, USA. I was like, you ain't worried about getting robbed, And he's like, when I first bought the place, I was worried about getting robbed. It was 4 years ago because you look on a map and you can see how often these things are robbed. And across I-5, there's a couple places that get robbed a couple times a year. And he's like, I've been here 4 years and I haven't been robbed once. And he's like, everybody that comes to this Minute Mart lives in the community. And so these aren't random. These aren't people driving from Longview or driving from another part of the 99% of the people that go there frequently. And so he's like, yeah, it's the neighborhood people don't want to rob me.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
You move across the street and you're in the wrong neighborhood, though.
Yeah. Me and my friends go hang out like by Chinatown where Voodoo Donuts is.
That's
Dude.
sketchy as it gets.
We'll get fucked up and like go to that gas station right there across
Yep.
the street from Voodoo, and like their refrigerators are locked.
Yeah,
You have to
yep.
be like, can I get a Powerade? And they gotta come over and
Yep,
unlock it. and
yep.
fucking get it
That's
for
how.
you.
That's how.
It's crazy. I've never seen that in my life.
When we got a beer with my buddy's place, and it's Hollywood. It's anyways in Portland. And I'm like trying to open it. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it locked?
I did the same
Yeah,
thing.
and had to go get a key from the guy.
Yeah.
I had to give him my ID. He was too bothered to go unlock it himself, and so I gave him my ID. And I'm like, am I I'm showing you this is me. And he's like, no, I'll keep it until you give me the key back. I'm like, okay. Like,
oh fuck. Yeah, craziest shit I've ever seen. Dude.
I always thought Longview was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's just more like trailer trash.
Yeah,
Portland
it's
is
not
just
as
like-
dangerous.
Yeah,
It's not as dangerous.
yeah.
Then talking about it being not as dangerous. I'll get insomnia and take my dog for a walk at 1 a.m. for 2, 3, 4 hours until I get too tired. I'll just walk one direction for an hour or hour and a half and then be like, fuck, I'm all the way across. I have to get home now. Now I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't want to be walking no more. I've got another hour. I don't want to take the same way back home, so I'll take a different street or whatever. But it's I don't ever feel in danger when I'm walking around. And
Yeah, I haven't either.
yeah, with my dog, nobody's ever tried to rob me or anything. Like, I've been in a couple altercations where I got punched in the face or something, but like,
When? Recently?
no, not since I've lived there, but a few years ago.
Sure.
Like, I'm by myself, and I'm like, I'm right next to Voodoo Donuts. There's a Minute Mart right next to Voodoo Donuts, and then across the street there's another one. And so I went to the one across the street. It might be a couple blocks down or whatever, but I get a bottle of wine because they don't sell beer there, and so I get a bottle of wine. I'm walking out. The homeless dude asks me for a couple bucks, and I'm like, I don't have any money. I just have a debit card, and he's like, okay. And then I'm walking away, and I walk halfway down the block. I open my wine, I take a drink. I'm like, fuck, like, I'll go in the store and buy him something that's a couple dollars. And so I walk back. I was like, hey, what do you want inside? I'll give you a couple bucks. I don't know if I say a couple bucks, I'll get you something inside. And he's like, oh, give me a pack of cigarettes. And I'm like, oh, $10 is too much. And he just punches me, right? Like, as soon as I said no, he punches me in the fucking face.
Oh my
This
god.
big, 270-pound, 6'3" black dude punches me. And I'm holding a bottle of wine in my hand. As he's throwing the punch, I have just enough sense in me to start turning with the punch so it doesn't fucking land flush and knock me dead.
Yeah.
And so he hits me, and I back up, and I was holding up my left hand, the wine bottle, and I put it in my right hand real quick, and I'm getting ready to fucking smash him upside with the wine bottle and kill him. And I say, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's your problem? And he's like, you think I'm fucking playing? You think I'm fucking... I was like, no, you just fucking hit me. Obviously, you're not playing. What the fuck's your problem? And he's like, you think I'm fucking playing, nigga? You think I'm fucking playing? And I'm like, no. And he's like, now he's throwing punches at me, but I have enough distance now to like step back and move. And I'm also taunting him. I'm standing just close enough where he think he can hit me, and I know he can't hit me. And so he's throwing these punches, he's kicking at me, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck did you hit me? And like my conscience told me not to hit him in the head with the wine bottle, but he's throwing punches and walking me back down the block, and he like throws so many punches and kick. We're halfway down the block, and I'm like, all right, like, what the fuck? He's like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, as soon as I turn my back, you're gonna hit me. What the fuck? And he's like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, all right. And he takes what I think is probably his dinner that night, is a glass jar of peanut butter out of his shirt, and he throws a glass jar of peanut butter at me, and it misses and hits the ground, breaks. I was like, no, you just wasted your dinner. Like, and then he's like, fuck you, nigga. You think I'm playing, nigga? And anyways, there's enough distance where I'm able to turn around, and I'm like, all right, like, fuck off, like,
Jesus.
oh yeah. And before he was throwing these push kicks at me, like a Muay Thai push kick, and he missed them, and I was like, next time he throws that push kick, I'm gonna step behind it and fucking judo throw him over my, and then run away. I thought but I thought it'd be fucking funny and hilarious and dominating to throw this guy on his ass and then take off.
Yeah.
But he never threw the push kick again.
Yeah.
But anyways, I ended up turning around, walking away, and like, as I'm like reflecting on it, I'm like trying to make sense of why he punched me. Like, this is also a time in my life where I'm hanging out with homeless people 3, 4, 5 times a week. When I was going to college and at PSU, when I get done with school, and if I don't want shit done, I would go hang out with the homeless people, share a beer or whatever, just bullshit. And they're not unpredictable. You know, if they do something you don't expect, it's because you didn't understand what was happening. Like, you and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, he thought he thought I said I would buy him something, and I was like, psych, I'm not gonna buy you it, you fucking bum piece of shit.
Oh.
And so in my mind, I'm thinking I'll give you something that's a couple bucks, and he's like, oh, pack of cigarettes, but I don't think I distinguish how much I was willing to spend. So I was like, oh, I'll get you something,
gotcha.
and he's like, oh, give me a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, nope, and he's like, pop, fuck
Gotcha.
you, dude.
Yeah.
And so that's what it also makes me feel good about not beating the fucking dog shit out of him because like he just I was just disrespecting him, you know. I was just being mean to him in his mind.
Yeah, you can really self-reflect a lot. It's funny because me and my friends used to go down there and hang out with homeless people
And beat up homeless people.
Dude, one thing I noticed about there's some regular homeless people, sure, but when I go to Portland, like sometimes you're just talking to somebody and they get like a glaze over their eyes and they're just not there anymore. Like I think some of them are like completely out of their minds. It's not like oh, this guy's high on fentanyl, like I wonder what he's thinking. Some of them are like should be in a mental hospital.
Oh, a lot of them
aren't.
Yeah.
For some whatever reason are not.
There's this there's a couple regulars. So there's a bunch of travelers and there's a bunch of people that only see one time and never see them again. But there's a bunch of people that I would see daily almost, or weekly at least. And this one lady that had schizophrenia really bad, and she'd just be talking like, fucking Jerry's killed all my kids. He's always killed my and like he's gonna kill me. And I try to give her a couple bucks or something like that. And she's talking to herself about she's talking to somebody else in her mind about Jerry trying to kill all of her kids or whatever the deal. Legit skits, but like the genuineness of my interaction of giving her the money, I'm like, who's Jerry or whatever. She'd be like, Jerry's somebody I dated, and she'd start talking to me about who Jerry was, and then she'd start saying like, I'm really sorry, Mom. Like, I'm like, what? Like, what's your mom mad about? And she'd tell me about it, and I would have these interactions with her, with like the people or the things in her mind, and trying to make sense of it. And sometimes like there's something I would do or say that would, she's like, no, get away from me, and not want to have an interaction, and I'd have to accept it. Like she's not, leave her alone. But there's times where I could hang out with her, and there's a lot of people that have like real serious mental illness like that. And those people could be pretty unpredictable.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that like kind of steer clear of.
It makes me wonder, like, it's kind of odd that like there's almost like a community of people with mental health issues in Portland. Like, it seems like when I was young, I could just be oblivious to it, but it seems like that wasn't as showcased as it is today, where like mental health issues are obviously becoming such a big deal nowadays. But it seems like if you'd know if one person was crazy in your city,
Obvious, yeah.
but Portland, there's like so many. It's like, is there something in the water or something? Why is so many people in like a community of like schizophrenia?
Yeah, because they have more resources for people like that in Portland, so they congregate in Portland. They're allowed to be there.
I wonder what those resources consist of.
Giving
Because
people
obviously
food.
they're still on the street.
The resources are like you have teams of people in Portland through different agencies that go around and give random schizophrenic, homeless, mentally ill people food and blankets and shit like that. They go around and they try to help them out. There's a little bit of that kind of stuff in Longview, but not anything like that. Also in Longview, we really don't like seeing homeless people. We don't fucking hate it, and we'll kick them the fuck out. We have problems with it. And so all the really seriously mentally ill people here are out of sight. They're not
Built in a
allowed.
camp.
They're not allowed to be around us, you know, as much. And then Portland's accepted it, or allows them to be in public and view more readily. Figueredo and Rob Font.
Figueredo just went up to 155. He's fighting.
Oh, is this 55?
Or sorry, 35. I'm an idiot. He just moved up to 35. This fight's super exciting. My point about that was like, you can give homeless people food, and you can give homeless people clean needles, but they're not schizophrenic because they're hungry. I'm not saying we should just give out like schizophrenic medicine to everybody that's homeless, but it seems like is there people working on fixing mental issues?
There's a bunch. You just you
Because
can
like what it seems like some of them should be in a mental hospital. Like
those don't exist anymore though.
yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
It's like we can buy them Subway sandwiches three times a day, but aren't they a danger to themselves and everybody else when they're
so back in the day, you used to have mental institutions, asylums, mental asylums, and it was costing, for instance, New York, 25% of the state taxes were going to funding the mental institutions. 25% of your taxes from the state just go to fucking housing mentally ill, and the people were having a problem with how much money it was costing them to have mental institutions. And I forgot, was it Reagan or there was one of these presidents that's like, we're not doing this shit anymore. This is costing us billions and billions of dollars. And so we took out the mental institutions because it was such a drain on us.
But now, like in LA, they throw like $4 billion in resources at the homeless. But it's like, can we?
We're spending the money in different ways now. It just, yeah.
I don't think you can, like, obviously not everybody that has mental health can just be cured. But it just seems like we're spending a lot of money on things we shouldn't be. It seems like we could go about this a different way.
Yeah. We've tried different ways and we didn't like them. And then I think we're eventually get to a point where we don't like this way even more. And we're going to go back to the older ways. I imagine in the future that we start having mental institutions again because it is more cost effective. Even though we were spending so much on them, it's more cost effective.
But how big is a mental hospital? Like, is there like
the ones
25,000
ones in New York
patients?
were 60,000 people, 40,000 people.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
40. I'm sure they were probably private hospitals.
Yeah, I don't know the
so maybe people that were getting taken maybe shouldn't have been, and maybe
obviously a bunch will be. You know, not everybody that should have been there should have been there.
Yeah. And probably people that were getting paid for that probably shouldn't have been getting paid.
What happened at the same? Ooh, fuck! Rob Pont got cracked.
Yeah, dude.
I've always thought Figueiredo was such a gnarly motherfucker.
I'm so glad he went up to 135 because he's so good at 125, but that division is just overlooked. But Rob Font has such good boxing that he really gets highlighted. So this matchup will really highlight
Figueiredo's.
Yeah,
dude, Figueiredo's. Man, I can't believe Moreno beat him. It blew my mind when.
I know. Yeah. I called Alexander Pantoja. You see that fight with Brandon Moreno?
And he lost it. It was a really close.
Brandon lost.
Yeah.
Brandon, dude, speaking about UFC Portland, Brandon Moreno was in the Ultimate Fighter. We knew he lost at the time UFC Portland was there. Luis Smolka was ranked number 10, and his opponent fell out. So Brandon Moreno flew to Portland to fight UFC Portland. Fresh out of losing on the Ultimate Fighter. The season wasn't even over. Stepped in short notice to fight number 10 ranked Luis Smolka and fucking rear naked choked him.
Oh, fuck.
Fresh off losing in the Ultimate Fighter. It was fucking gnarly. But I called Alexander Pantoja's. I always thought he was the dark horse of the division. I thought he was really fucking good. He had a close fight with Brandon Moreno, but ended up winning it. And I bet like $150 on him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be as close as it was, even though I know Brandon Moreno is really good. But cash that out. I always thought he was really good. Now he's fighting Brandon Royval, who's another bad motherfucker. But
all the people that went from the mental institutions went into the prisons. Now you have the prison industrial complex. A lot of these people that are in prison have mental illness and stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's where a lot of them went. And you look at the populations in prison from the mental institutions, they drop out of the mental institutions and prison jumps the fuck up.
Sure, because they commit crimes.
Now that's the only system we have. The crimes they're committing are like sleeping places they shouldn't, pissing places they shouldn't,
that's
screaming where they shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they put them in prison.
Yep.
And then now we're still spending the taxes on them, but they're not getting the resources that would actually
No,
benefit them.
the rehabilitative, or a lot of these people you can't rehabilitate. You just can only take them out of society in the best way you can. Give them a place to be that's not bugging anybody else.
And their logic is, well, prison does that. We
Yeah,
already
prison
have
does do
those.
that. Yeah, it's just not the best way. Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding, dude. That's super sad. It's such a sad reality.
yeah.
And dark too. When you see those prison kickbacks, like, oh man, dude, you're putting people in there that shouldn't be.
Man, I also the mental institutions, the asylums weren't fucking a great place to live always. Like there's this documentary.
Sure, every horror movie is written about an insane asylum.
Yeah,
Just
somebody that's
went
not
bad.
actually insane.
Yeah,
That's fucking made, and they didn't believe in they're insane.
Yeah. Shutter Island.
Shutter Island.
is a great one. One of my favorites. That's probably my favorite movie.
There's this documentary. If you ever want to fucking watch something that disturbs the deepest parts of your being, watch Titicut Fallis. It's a documentary about this mental institution back in the day. The guy that runs it is the tickiest, most mentally ill fucking person. He's the ward. This is a documentary, and it's not trying to make him look like a fucking piece of shit or anything. But he's like, you like playing with yourself, and this guy is in the chair, and he's like, hey, yeah, and he's like, you play with yourself too much, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, he's like, you want to have sexual relations with your mom, yeah, you're committed.
God.
I'm exaggerating it pretty bad,
Sure,
but
I get the point.
It's like that, yeah.
Wow, dude, that is insane.
Yeah, Titicut Fallis. You should, yeah. It's an absolutely epic documentary.
I'll get through as much as I can. I'll definitely watch it.
It's a good one. Ooh, the
That was a
uppercut.
nasty uppercut.
And both these guys, I mean, they're like champions. That's what's cool about the UFC. There's so many people you watch fight, like ranked number 8 and not ranked. These guys are championship level. They could be champion on any given day.
Yes.
If they have good luck for 2 or 3 fights, they're champions, dude.
Yes.
Figueiredo was,
Yeah, I think he was ranked number 2 at 125. So because he stepped up to 135, he's unranked in the 35-pound division. But I think he was ranked number 2 under Brandon Royval at 125.
When there was one time when Figueiredo, they fought 3 times, right? Him and Moreno.
Yes.
And there was one of the fights where he looked like shit. And then the other 2 fights were fucking fights.
Yes.
And it wasn't like he wasn't a champion anymore. It was just like that day, at that time, Moreno did a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy's a championship caliber fucking fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
I'm surprised he didn't try and get the fight with Alexander Pantoja, but I like the decision of him going up to 135, cutting less weight. He always had time cutting weight to 125. So,
Yeah, he suffered a bit, from what I
yeah.
understand.
Yep. So seeing him go up and have success against the number 8 guy in a different division.
Yeah, cutting weight's rough.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Especially because they say it takes 70 hours to rehydrate your brain, so you're getting to death's door the day before you fight.
Yeah, I don't know how where who said that. How's that? How do they know that?
I'm sure it's just a hydration test.
Of your brain, you like stick a
Yeah.
needle in your brain and suck out the brain matter
They do like the same way you would do like a body composition.
of your skin and whatnot.
Yeah, they can see like your muscle mass and your hydration and everything like that.
Yeah,
But,
I would be interested to see if I would have to see some like fMRI or like PET scans
Yeah.
where you look at a human being and you can see the density of all the tissues and see how
Sure.
the brain changes. They might have done that shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say they have.
Oof.
Oh, he's
Looked away from that.
good.
That's what happened with me and that black dude. He swung like that at me. I was able just to get nicked a little bit by it. I was like, that would have got me.
Oh man, that's scary. I saw a chick in downtown Portland across the street from Voodoo, completely naked, probably 260, and she was walking around like a zombie. I was like, oh my god.
Out of all the places I hung out in Portland, that's the by far the. Normally when I'm drunk and I'm walking around, I mean that guy punched me that one day, but like I'll see some homeless people and be like, hey, I got an extra beer. You want a beer? I'm fucking bored. Want to bullshit? And dude, everybody's fucking chill with it. And if they're not chill with it, just be like, no, I'm not. Leave. I've walked up to people down there and they're like, you a fucking cop?
Yeah.
You gonna try to fucking get me, you piece of shit?
Yeah, they're super paranoid.
Yo, dude, they're yeah.
I was talking to this one guy down there by that Inferno's Pizza.
Pizza at the window, pizza out the door.
Yeah, across the street from Voodoo. And we were talking about, I was just talking to him, being nice, and we're like, I was with a couple of my friends. We were talking about betting on UFC fights. He's like, you guys want to put $5 on, it was some college basketball team. It's like they're fighting, or they're playing later. You guys want to put $5 on it for me? And we're like, sure, yeah, whatever. And then knowing we weren't going to see him again.
Yeah.
But as he's talking, it was like Montana State or something. He's like, yeah, Montana State. This glaze just comes over his eyes, and he just rambles about not even talking about sports or basketball anymore. It was like something completely different. I like visually
There's a moment where you like a change in him.
Yes, like it's visible. Like you just see a switch behind his eyes, and it was like the first time I've ever seen something on that level.
Yeah, what do you think it was? You have no clue?
Dude, he might have just like smoked meth and
some
then walked
drugs
around the
just
corner.
kicked. They just
Yes,
kicked in
that's
that
exactly
moment.
what it looked like, but I don't think that was it. But his eyes like went from like a dark blue to like a white blue, and I was like, what the fuck? Like his eyes almost just turned white. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like cloudy. His eyes got cloudy, and then he started rambling at the same moment I noticed that, and I was like, what the fuck is that, dude?
I know when you smoke shit, it kicks in way too fast. As soon as you smoke it, it's kicked in within just a few seconds.
Sure.
You shoot it up, it's a little bit longer. It's like 30 seconds, a minute maybe. You know, it takes longer actually for the. And then I'm thinking if you ate something, if you took a pill or you took something that was oral, it could start kicking in real hard at some point. I don't know.
It seemed like he swallowed 30 Adderalls, and I just watched them all kick in at the same time because it was like a meth effect. But
you eat meth, people. A lot of people, yeah. You
do
eat
they really?
It.
I didn't know.
Oh yeah. It's great.
Oh, is it?
It's
I'll give it a
medium.
try.
Yeah, it's medium. No, yeah. So Adderall is meth. You know, they just it's methylphenidate or whatever, or not methylphenidate. It's Ritalin, but I forgot what. Actually, Adderall is a couple different types of meth put into one. So there's several chemicals in one.
Oh, he stunned him.
It's scary. He's trying to kill you.
It's crazy, that Adderall thing. There's not a big difference between a normal person going to work taking Adderall and like a homeless person smoking meth. There really ain't that much big of a difference.
I don't see any difference.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, I remember I grew up with my mom really villainizing drugs and drug users and stuff, and so I was like ultra anti-drug. When you knew me back in the day, I never even took a sip of alcohol until I was 24.
Oh, really?
I thought every drug in any way, shape, or form made you weak, and you were weak for succumbing to the temptation of it or whatever, you know. And if you couldn't get happiness in your life and with yourself, and you're going to drugs, like it's because you're a piece of shit. And this is what my mindset was.
Sure. I think a lot of kids are that way. You know?
Yeah, you're
how they're
brainwashing
raised,
to believe in that shit. Yeah. Like,
obviously, we've seen time and time again the biggest problem with telling your kids how bad drugs are and things like that is then they try something like if you get your teeth pulled and you take an oxy, you're a normal person. But if you take an oxy and you're not in pain, you're a junkie. So it's like, it's very hypocritical. And
It's confusing and contradicting.
yeah, because
Yeah.
then the doctor gives you something, you take it, and you're essentially going against your own.
You're also
Guidelines.
it's contradictory in the sense like I'll take this other drug, caffeine, every fucking day.
Yeah.
Because I can't function without this drug.
Yeah,
But-
cheers.
but
cheers to that.
yeah, but I can't function without that. But it's okay for this drug. But this other drug isn't okay.
Or even like your parents growing up alcoholics, telling you if you smoke weed, you're a dirtbag.
Oh yeah.
And then you try it, and you're like, this is way better than
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
the fuck
yeah.
you're doing.
I see a lot of people that when a lot of people start becoming junkies, and you become a junkie because you have either really serious problems in your life, but a lot of people that have money start using cocaine, and they start leaning on cocaine really hard because that's the only way they can find joy or like they only feel good when they're high on coke, and then they'll talk shit about people that use meth or use
Yeah.
these other drugs, and they're like, I'm not like that. I'm not trash. I'm not trash.
Yeah.
But it's all just bullshit. It's just self-conscious defensiveness, you know?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, it came to that. It was a really profound like realization I had when I was younger. I remembered like I make these artificial values of these different drugs, and when in reality they're all just drugs, you know. And it's not the drug itself it's bad, it's how you use it, and it's not the drug that's making you a bad person. It's all the everything else in your life that's leading you up into that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I second that. I mean, we've seen I know this is a great fight going on, but we've seen things like weed going from, it's still a Schedule 1 drug. It was like the worst when we were young. And then all of a sudden there's medical marijuana. So it's like, okay, well, it can actually help people. And now it's like, yeah, it's totally legal in this state because it ain't even that bad. And then same thing with like mushrooms. You were told, you know, like if you take mushrooms, you're gonna lose your mind. And
Yeah,
jump
you
out a
lose your
window.
mind. That I remember fucking thinking you could do acid one time and it can fry your brain.
Yep.
You can do mushrooms one time, and everybody had a story about a friend doing it one time and it fried their brain.
Yeah. Seems like everybody's story was, my friend took mushrooms and jumped out a window.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's so appealing about windows when you take mushrooms? Everybody fucking says that. And then you try mushrooms, or even like people with depression or something. Now the doctor gives them mushrooms, and now it's okay because it helps you. But like people find a benefit in that maybe don't have such a severe case of like depression or something. You can take a little bit of mushrooms and enjoy it and say, I'm in a better mood. Mushrooms have been around a long time, obviously, all sorts of different mushrooms, but like this mushroom with psilocybin is so terrible and it'll cause you to kill yourself or whatever. But then the doctor gives it to you, or you try it and you're like, it made me happier and things look brighter. And then it's like, how is this different than, like, it seems like,
I've been bullshitted my whole life.
yeah.
I just been
essentially, yeah.
bullshitted my whole
Yeah.
life,
And then you're like, well, meth can't be that bad.
and it's not.
Yeah, and then
it's
you're like,
not.
well, then heroin can't be that bad.
And it's not. I've been hanging out with a homeless person. It was this deaf dude, and he was selling meth. He big, strong, tall looking dude, and he was deaf. And I don't know what the interaction was, but eventually I was like, hey, can I follow you around Portland? And he's like, yeah. So I spent the day with him, and he was going around selling meth to everybody. And so at one point, a couple hours after hanging out with him, we sit at the Southwest waterfront, and then he takes out his fucking meth pipe and starts smoking meth. And he's like, you want some? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's. From the outside perspective, it seems very dirty and nasty, and I'm doing a terrible drug. But that drug that I'm doing is Adderall or Ritalin. It's prescribed to a bunch of people. And if you slightly shift the perspective, what I'm doing isn't dirty and nasty. It's just the only thing is different in that situation is just the perspective of what's happening. And it's a lot of people won't be able to fucking agree with me on that. They have too strong of a repulsion to like that situation, that image of it. But I know that it's no different than fucking smoking a cigarette with a buddy. It's less damaging to you in a lot of different ways. You know, and it's like it's weird. We live in a world that's dictated by bullshit. That's dictated by like false conclusions and images and stories and shit that aren't based in reality, but we have to live in it because like if everybody I've ever interacted with knew I smoked fucking meth with a bum, they would think about me completely differently. It would change their image of me. Their
Meanwhile, I knew you did that before you even told me.
it's weird.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know. I think a lot of people don't have the ability to like really self-reflect. And I've always been able to do that. So like I always feel for people and I can like put myself in their shoes. But some people like it could be the ego or it could just be life experiences where they just can't, they're just so stubborn that they just can't give anybody anything. That's always been a trip to me.
We get brainwashed pretty hard by society, by our parents, by our families, and the way they brainwash us affects our fundamental values of what we find to be right and wrong, you know, and like it's wrong to fucking smoke meth with bums, and you'd have to unpack almost everything they think and believe to get to a point where they realize like, oh, I shouldn't think that, or like I'm hypocritical in thinking that, you know, like.
Yeah, that's why a lot of my friends, I got a lot of my friends into weed, and I don't say that like when we were in high school, dude. Like people you would never.
I wasn't like a pushy fucking peer
but,
influencer,
but people would try it and love it, and then just like there'd be guys on the basketball team, there'd be guys like on the wrestling team, and I'd smoke weed with them, and they probably would have never tried it themselves, but being around me, I guess, and seeing that it was like normal for me. They would
warmed up to it.
Yeah, and then their perspective would flip, and then they would have other people try it and stuff like that. But one of my friends that always seemed pretty gullible, I kind of watched the switch flip in him where it's like weed is so bad, I'm a goody two-shoes to like, hey, this ain't really that bad. I'm still the same person whether I smoke weed or not. He joined the Army, and he got back from boot camp, dude, and he was like, yeah, we're going to go kill those fucking towel heads and things like that. And I was like, you realize you're fighting a terrorist organization, not just people that dress this way, right? And it was crazy to me how indoctrinated he was after like 3 months of being in boot camp. And instead of like things like drugs, he was indoctrinated in like this world of like, I'm
protecting America by killing these terrorist organizations.
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't even terrorist organizations. It's like, I'll kill whoever they point their finger at. And I'm like, God, dude, you really have to have your own perspective. It made me so fucking sad, dude.
It's disturbing.
I've had 4 friends join the Army, and he's the only one that came back that was like, let's go out tonight and kill him. And it's like, dude, there's no Taliban in Longview. You know that? Like, what are you just going to find some innocent family? And that fucking blew my mind.
I had a girlfriend that tried to get into the Marines, and she was this Ukrainian girl. Half the family's Russian, half's Ukrainian. Toughest, gnarly, a soldier you would want, a tough bitch, and she got kicked out. And the official reason was she wasn't programmable. That's
wow.
The official reason why she got discharged was she wasn't programmable enough. And so you have to have a certain level of being able to be programmed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
That
you shoot whoever they point at.
You got to be able to be programmed.
Obviously, the military is important, but in that aspect is just.
It blew my mind. I didn't know they'd be so open about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I thought they would be like was disruptive or whatever.
Sure.
That would be the official statement.
Yeah.
But it wasn't programmable.
And you talk about like an intellectual standpoint, that's a great thing. You're not programmable. You can make your own decisions and vote the way you think is right or think the way you think is right.
If you're not running shit, you want people programmable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're running shit.
Yeah,
if you're an individual, you don't want to be programmable.
Yeah, yeah. I think of somebody not being programmable as like a boss or like somebody that eventually turns wealthy or somebody that can look at problems in a different way. Like an Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Probably can't be.
No, yeah, he's a different. He's beats by the drum of his own horse.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but obviously they wouldn't want a guy like that in the military.
No, they wouldn't accept him. They'd kick him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, what exactly were you doing that got? And she was like, they would tell me to eat at this time and brush my teeth a certain way and do all these things very specifically. And she's like, why am I doing them this way and not a different way? And she's like, when I could save time if I did it this way. Not like she was questioning shit. Like I think it could be more effective this way or that. She might be a great general. She might be a badass soldier at the high level, but as a fucking infantryman or as like the lower man on the totem pole, you shouldn't be asking. You should just be doing what I'm telling you to do. And she was asking questions, and it fucking got her kicked out of the Marines.
Wow.
She kicked ass. Hell or not Hell Week, but whatever the boot camp basic, and she fucking killed it. You know, like she was murdering it, and then she was just asking too many questions, and then
wow. It's almost like you have to pretend you don't know any of that stuff until
you got to not know it.
They
they want you not to know it.
Yeah.
No, but you got to just if your goal really is just to be successful in that, then you have to like put blinders on.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that is so wild.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. She has like a couple businesses of her own now. She's definitely like her. She
What do you know?
she does her own shit, man. Like,
yeah, good for her. Yeah, that makes sense that they want
programmable people.
Programmable people. They probably, don't want well-educated people and things of that nature. At least in the Marines.
I mean,
they want you to run at somebody that's holding a gun at you.
Yeah, it's all about being there for your teammates and doing. There's these tactics and there's these behaviors and there's this like way we want you to behave that's conducive to being a good soldier. You know, you got to be fit in line with this. If you don't fit this mold, then you're not. They're sitting there and they need a leader to be all decisive and shit. They're like, okay, we're in this rabbit hole. They're bombing us and there's snipers around and we're not going to survive here. And so we're going to fucking we're all of us going to run. And she's like, you think that's what we should do? He's like, no, I fucking don't think that, but I don't know. So I'm just going to, no.
Yeah. You think of like how intelligent Navy SEALs are and things in special operations, but, I don't know. That's wild to hear.
Yeah, it's blew my mind.
How long ago was that?
Maybe 10 years ago.
Because I know now you're having such a hard time getting people to enlist.
Oh, yeah. It's
almost like people are seeing through the facade, kind of, because it's like people don't want to sign up for the military. Either they're not in good shape, which it seems like almost nobody's in good shape nowadays, or they don't fit the mold, or they find something better to do. They really want like poor, uneducated people.
That's the only people that would go to the military.
Yeah, to be like forced into that. I remember
they seem predatory to me. It's always seemed predatory.
Yeah, dude, they almost got me in high school. Dude, they told me this guy was like, yeah, I was really into martial arts. He's like, we do jiu-jitsu training, all this stuff, and you don't have to join. You just sign up to do the classes and stuff like that. And I was like, that sounds fucking sweet. And then little did I know, I was essentially signing up for the military.
He's gonna get you.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Now you're gonna go to prison if you don't.
Yeah, exactly. It was, and then he was showing up at my house every day saying like, you're gonna come down to the training, right? I'm like, where at? Well, you gotta sign these papers, and then I'll bring you down to the training and stuff. And I was like, these papers say I'm enlisting. Like, it's no big
deal. It's not really enlisting. Just sign on.
Yeah, he was actively trying to trick me, and I was like, dude, if the military is as great as they say it is, why are they trying to trick people?
Yeah, that guy might just be a bad representative.
Very well could have been.
Yeah,
but he was at my high school.
Yeah, no, I knew a bunch of. I mean, that's their job is to get people.
Yeah, that's how they get paid.
Yeah, that's they need people to enlist. Like. Well, I was watching this video of these people from like different branches of the military, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and the guy is wanting to enlist in some branch of the military, and he was going in there, and kind of what you're saying, these people are trying to sell him, trying to get him in there, and he walked into the Marines, and he didn't see anybody in the Marines office, and he's like, hello, and this guy like popped his head up from behind the desk. He was like taking a nap or something, and he's like, yeah, I'm thinking about enlisting. He's like, yeah, like do this test or whatever, like, you know, if you want to do it. And he was so laid back and wasn't trying to get him in. He's like, that's why I became a Marine, because they weren't trying to sell me.
I swear I heard that story too.
Yeah, I was just watching it on YouTube just this week.
Yeah. I'm sure I would know who it was if you said it, because I'm almost positive I heard that same story.
No, it's I fucking hate being sold anything.
Yeah.
When I'm walking in the mall and the people at the kiosk bug me, or even
my
worse in Portland, where you have these canvassers, they call them, where they're trying to get you to donate $20 to this fucking Ethiopian or whatever.
Yeah.
They're so persistent. It's like, don't fucking bug me. And if I just give you the vibe of leaving me alone, I don't have to say it. You should respect that as a fucking courteous human being. Fucking leave me alone, and they don't. And God, man, it makes me want to fucking punch him so bad.
I'm totally with you, dude. We had this dude. I was working night shift, so my wife was here alone at night. We had this guy come over, and he's like, "Can I give you an estimate on siding?" And I was like, "Sure, an estimate." Well, he calls my wife later and was like, asking her all these questions. We're gonna order the color. So, what kind of do you want to pick out the size you want? So they're ordering all this stuff to give me an estimate, and then essentially, like, it was like they were really sneakily trying to. It went from an estimate to
Like, I'm ordering it,
doing the whole thing. Yeah, and then I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I just told him, don't fucking come back, because I was so pissed. Like, he said he was gonna come back later. I was like, I'm not gonna be home, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, I shouldn't have said that. My wife's like, I'm gonna be here alone. Why the fuck did you tell me you're not gonna be here? I was like, oh fuck, dude, I didn't even think of that, dude. But a lot of those people,
fucking vultures.
the crazy part is, if you sign up for a sales training, that's what they teach you.
Yeah.
And it's like, who the fuck wants to buy something they don't want to buy?
You're gonna get.
Ooh, Jalen Turner is fucking fast. He's big too.
He's huge.
I love Bobby Green though. I think Bobby Green's probably more technical if he can get around the length. Ooh, tag him there. Bobby Green is such a fucking G.
Yeah, he's
so
he's
slick.
a real G.
Oh my god.
At least he seems like it to me.
He absolutely is. You know Sarukian, the guy fighting in the main event?
No.
He's
What's his first name or
Armin Sarukian.
No.
He's the one fighting Beneil Dariush, but I guess he walked up to Bobby Green and was saying something.
Oh, I
think,
saw that. Yeah.
And he fucking slapped him.
Yeah, Bobby shoved him, and he grabbed his throat.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Like
grabbed his. He grabbed it in like a fucking punch. He like slapped him in the throat. With a claw hook.
Yeah.
You can't like. I don't.
If both those guys win tonight, that's a good look.
Bobby doesn't want to fight. I watched an interview and he's like, "That guy's boring. He just humps you," and he's like, "I'm not gonna just. I'm not gonna take that fight. I just don't want to be in boring fights."
Yeah, but if they both win, and
It's hard.
Armin's like number 4.
Is he?
He's really high. So I mean, he might
jumping
have
up a few rankings.
Yeah, that might be a shoe.
Ooh,
don't get too relaxed, Bobby.
Man, that
Jalen-
guy's Turner's so big.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as Bobby, but he's just has a better advantage. Bobby can wrestle too. I'm surprised he's not throwing leg kicks as much. But Bobby can fucking wrestle. He just doesn't want to. He wants to catch somebody and knock him out and get a highlight reel win.
Yeah, Bobby doesn't seem like a dude I'd come up to and talk shit to.
You
You know, like he seems like he'd pop you.
Yeah,
like,
no shit.
I'm sure he would if there wasn't cameras around and shit, and it was just you and him, and you're talking some shit. He'd probably light you up. Like
Sarukian had like 5.
Yeah,
his whole crew kind of surrounded Bobby. Yeah,
and I think there's also a part of Bobby that's being a professional. Like, I don't want to get kicked out of the UFC. I don't want to
day
get
before the fight too.
Yeah,
So
there's a bunch of shit. Like, there's a bunch of reasons why he's not popping you already.
yeah, absolutely.
There was a
Oh, shit, he did wobble.
dead!
Oh,
I thought he was
shit.
faking.
Me too.
He's dead. He's dead.
I can't
Call
believe
it.
it's still going
He's been
on.
dead for a minute. Holy shit.
I can't believe he's still
Oh
going
no.
on.
He just wants him to die.
Dude,
was that
Jesus
not good
Christ.
enough?
Jesus
That was a
Christ.
terrible stoppage.
That was one of the worst I've ever seen.
That was a terrible stoppage.
Dude, I thought he was joking too. He was doing like the slick shit.
Yeah, I thought he was joking when he stepped back. He did a wobbly.
Yeah.
And then he hit the ground limp.
Yeah.
He
did.
And he took a hit limp.
Yep.
And then he started like waking up and fighting back, but that was bad, dude.
He wasn't moving or anything. He wasn't like getting to his knees.
What the
He
fuck
was
did the
just
ref
laying
see,
flat.
man?
Oh my God. The ref's like,
He was trying to fight back though. He was trying to get to his knees and cover up.
At the end, yeah. Well, before he got flatlined, but.
Ooh, in the side of the head. Yeah, I thought this was fake.
Yeah.
Oh,
too.
it wasn't.
Once I saw that, I was like, oh.
It's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
absolutely,
It's
it's
over. It's over. It's over.
It's still over. Yeah. Yep. Over.
Yeah.
Over.
Dude, that was too much.
It was.
Yeah, right in the behind the ear.
Sometimes they stop it too early, and you're like, oh, you could have let that go on another second.
No,
Bro, you could have stopped that
Yeah,
15 seconds before that.
The way he hit the ground with his arms limp, he wasn't like catching himself with his
Yeah.
arms and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's moments where he hit him and he goes completely limp,
Yeah.
and then recovers like a split second later.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that was
That
fucking
was
bad.
fucking.
Oh my God. He's all right.
No, he's
Holy
not,
shit.
dude. He's look at him.
Oh,
They
yeah.
shouldn't be letting him walk around.
Yeah. He's like, what'd you hit me with?
He just
Jalen's
woke
like,
up.
A lot of shit.
He just hasn't slept for a week and got woke up at 30 minutes into his deep
yeah,
sleep.
Dude, he probably woke up getting punched in the head because it still wasn't over. That was wild.
It's a nightmare.
It literally looked like he was like waking up,
Is that the?
putting his hands around.
There's
his
one
head.
more fight.
Yeah. Benil Dariush. Jakar Close. That's who it was. The guy that knocked the dude out with the slam. Whew, that was nasty.
That was bad.
That was bad.
What was the other one? There was one with Steve Mazzagatti where,
All of them. He was such a bad ref, dude.
dude, it's also hard to reffing scare. Like it's just
I totally get that, but the Brock Lesnar Frank Mir fight, you remember that? The first one, when Brock is tapping and Steve is just standing there looking at him. He taps and then he looks at him. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he's still tap. Like, dude, it took like 8 taps till Steve
he was
separated.
tapping in like in a disagreement with Steve not stopping. He's like,
Yeah.
"Fucking, I'm tapping."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he before UFC 100, I was watching the press for that fight, and it was like the embedded or whatever, and Brock Lesnar is sitting in his house. He's watching him back. He's like, "How many fucking times do I have to fucking
Yeah, he got
tap
pissed
this
and like
guy?"
slams the door. What is
Yeah,
it?
and hits the door and it falls off the hinges. Dude, that's so fucking crazy.
He was Brock Lesnar was one of the gnarliest athletic specimens I've ever seen in
Yes.
any sport ever.
Yes.
He was just oh man, I wish he just had a better chin and
From
wasn't
wrestling-
such a bitch.
Yeah, wrestling and playing on the Minnesota Vikings to being a UFC champion.
Yeah.
In his fourth? He fought Randy Couture for the belt in his 4th UFC fight, I believe.
Yeah, and
Fucking
became champ.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just didn't like getting punched in the face. There's a couple
Yeah.
times you see him cower when he fought Cain Velasquez and when he fought
Yeah.
Alistair Overeem.
Yeah. Well, Alistair was probably 100 pounds bigger than him at that point, dude. He was fucking huge.
But he cowered. Like
Yeah.
that's something you can't take out of somebody. Like you hit them hard enough and they get scared.
Yeah, that's true. He probably has a bunch of punishment from football. But when Overeem hit him with that lead leg body kick and dropped him, he just had surgery right before.
Yeah,
that
the
on his-
diverticulitis.
Yeah, diverticulitis. Yeah,
There was
he's coming off surgery.
there was another moment. That was like he kicked him a few times or a couple times.
Yes.
He need him or whatever too.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where he cowers. Anyways, there I don't have the whole fight unlocked in my memory, but I just remember him cowering in that fight and also in the Cain Velasquez fight, getting hurt, getting rocked, and getting scared, and then panicking and covering up, and then not getting finished fast enough where he can be like, okay, I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right. But there's that fear that he had that you can, because he's such a fucking animal, man. He never had to experience that fear with a lot of people.
been the
Yeah.
nail. Imagine who he was training with. I doubt he was training with Jack 265 pounders. with abs.
But I also think you can't train that out of somebody. There's fighters. Who can I think of off the top of my head? If you hurt him really bad, he just died recently. Was gonna fight John Jones, Anthony Rebel Johnson.
Oh yeah.
So Rumble, when he wouldn't get hurt and cower, he would get tired and cower. As soon as he started getting tired, he started looking for a way out in the fight. And some fighters, no matter how tired they get, they don't look for a way out. And so and other fighters, no matter how bad they get hurt, they don't look for a way out. And I saw that in Brock, and that was like the one chink in his armor. I think if he didn't have, I think he would have fucking smashed Alistair, and I think he would have smashed everybody else if he had didn't have that reaction to getting hurt. Yeah,
a lot of that could have been inexperience. I mean, you think of Overeem, how long he's fought, how many fights
I just
he
think
had.
he's a pussy. I think it's deep in his soul, and he can't take it out of him.
If you hurt a guy like Alistair, he knows exactly what to do. If you hurt a guy like Brock, he's like, this is the first, what the fuck do I do? He's like Ricky Bobby in the interview. He's like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't had the experience of like,
I think that could
when
be
you get rocked, fucking throw back. No, he's like,
he hasn't gotten
what
to
do I
that
do now?
habit. Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah. It hasn't got hard enough in practice to hone that.
Yeah.
To change that. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I've never thought of it that way, but I think it's very
just being champ after 4 UFC fights. Alistair's had 100 UFC fights by that point.
dude.
I mean, he's been knocked out. He's been fucked up.
He beat up Randy. He won against the worst champion, the easiest champion you could ever beat.
Yeah, that's pretty disrespectful, but I agree.
I don't think there would have been. I can't remember.
Who did he beat for that?
Tim Sylvia.
Tim Sylvia, that's right.
Yeah, I thought Sylvia. I was in Hooters in Portland and Jansen Beach watching that fight, and that's when I was training at Extreme Couture, and I was just high. And I wasn't doing any drugs at this time, but like high on the fucking the Randy's fighting for the belt, and I didn't think there's any chance he was gonna win.
Sure.
I thought he was gonna get smoked.
Sure.
And he comes out and he rocks him, and takes him down within like 10 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I was like, and the whole time he just grinds the fuck out of Tim Sylvia. I'm screaming. Just everybody at Hooters was, because he's a hometown hero.
Sure.
So we're all like, anyways.
That's badass, dude. I used to watch the fights at Porky's when I was like 15, and then
Porky's at 15.
They would kick me out at 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's the deal. Yeah.
So I would like sit outside in the windows. I watched, I think Randy versus Lyoto Machida. I watched it through the window because they kicked me out.
He got kicked in the head.
Yeah. I watched it through the window.
His retirement fight. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I would like watch the prelims and shit. And they kicked me out right before the main event every fucking time.
There was the bummer when I first started training at Arsenal, coaching there, and just fucking being in Arsenal.
Juggernaut or Arsenal?
Arsenal back in the day. And Brandon Kessler, that owned Kessler's Bar and Grill, fucking trained there. And so he was, all of my buddies were training there, and they would watch the fights at Kessler's, but I was too young. And so I was just such a fucked thing. I couldn't be, and he's like, I can't let you in the bar. Like, that's my liquor license, dude. And I'm like, I won't fucking drink. You know, I'm the most anti-drug person on the planet. I won't drink. And he's like, I can't risk it, man.
Yeah.
I was so fucking bummed out.
Because you can't just be like, all right, I'll go home and spend $80 on it.
Yeah, that's how I learned to steal it off VIP League or whatever.
Oh yeah,
or Front Row Sports, First Row Sports.
I didn't know how to do that forever, dude. I was fucking just paying. I was like, I'm supporting the fighters, whatever. I'll just pay for them.
Yeah.
And then I watched. I ordered Nick Diaz versus Conor McGregor. One or two. I want to say it was one. I bought it at my house. Fucking spent the check on it. And then I'm watching it, right? And it's Donald Cerrone versus Rick Story. It's a good back and forth fight. And I'm obviously a huge fan of Rick Story. And the screen blacks out. I was like, what the fuck? And then it comes back on and Rick Story was knocked out. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I had to go online and look. It was one of the best, like,
combinations ever in
Ever.
any sport.
And I'm watching it live and I fucking missed it. And I paid $80 for it. So I was like, dude, I might as well just fucking illegally stream it
Fuck
because I'm going to
UFC.
miss it whether I buy the pay-per-view or not. I was so fucking devastated, dude. I was so devastated.
There's been from pirating them, I've missed a couple good because I haven't
Sure.
found a good stream, and then
Yeah.
the fight I'm pumped for. But since you've shown me, what the fuck was it?
Sports Surge.
I found legit streams on Sports Surge every fight. Sports
Yeah,
Surge
I didn't know how to navigate it that one time. But
I love
they
it.
added this whole new like ad sequence where like it says like, are you a human or whatever? And when you click it, it's an ad. I thought like you had to click it to get to the page with the ads. So it just fucked me up that last time. But yeah, dude, I don't mind missing it if I didn't pay for it. But if I pay for it and I
I
missed it,
still
dude,
mind it if it's something I really want to watch, man.
Oh, of course. But it's at least it's not like I spent $80 to see it and I didn't see it. It's like I'm doing illegal shit anyways. At least a little karma. But dude, I was so fucking devastated.
I want to see what's going on in the bare knuckle fights.
Yeah, dude, I gotta fucking. I'm gonna either watch that or rewatch it. I love bare knuckle, dude. Their pay-per-views are like $5.
Their main event might come on right after this main event.
That would be fucking sweet.
I'll
I'll have to pull it up on the computer.
on Sports Surge.
Yeah, what time is it now?
It's 6:30.
6:30. Sweet.
Their card was supposed to start at 6. And here's the.
Might run a little long.
It might. So they only have. Oh, looks like they have a long time to go. That's not up to date.
Dude, if UFC pay-per-views were 25, 30, 35, even $40, I'd buy them. But like when you're getting in the 80s and 90s and I got to pay $10 a month for ESPN Plus, it's like, bro, I'm not fucking loaded. PFL just had a pay-per-view. You see that?
Yeah, it looks like there's like 7 fights to go, so it's not going to be until later.
Oh, wait. Well,
I might be able to get home and watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a fucking sit. Oh, sorry, what you were saying about PFL?
oh, they just had a pay-per-view.
Who was on that?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I didn't buy it.
I just got a nice TV, like a fucking 77-inch OLED.
Oh, hell yeah,
Like
dude.
the fanciest TV you can get, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'll beat up that guy, Marcos D'Amata.
That's him?
Yeah,
That's the guy you were fucking
that was my
talking
first
about?
pro fight. Yeah. He's the coach of all these guys.
Dude, I know. I had no idea that's who you were talking about.
Yeah,
That is fucking
yeah, that's the
crazy you
guy.
fought that guy.
Talking about picking somebody up and putting their head to the side to knock them out.
Mm-hmm.
He had me in a rear naked choke, and I jumped and tried to spike him on his head. And when I jumped, I just ended up doing a forward roll, and then I got up again, and I'm going unconscious, and I end up grabbing his head and pulling it to the side and slamming him and knocking him out. And knocking him senseless, where he goes limp and he's off my back, and I start punching him and elbowing him, and the ref shoves me off of him. I'm like, he beat my ass for the 3 rounds up until that moment.
Sure.
And I was like, I won the fight. I just fucking won the fight, but it was the ending bell. He pulled. But anyways, yeah, that's the guy I beat up.
Dude, I wonder, are any of those fights on YouTube or anything?
That one's not. I wish I had that fight. I can't.
Dude, that is such a shame that's not.
I would
on
have
the web.
to. I bet if I fucking got a hold of him and asked him for that, he'd probably have a
Hey,
copy.
remember when I knocked you out, bro? You want to send me that
Yeah,
video?
and he's like, you
hell
knocked
yeah,
me out.
dude.
I won that fight. Yeah. I was like, it was a close decision. It was 29-28. He's like, I still won.
No,
Yeah.
don't have the video. Fuck off.
It was the first time I met Jeff Munson. It was wild because Jeff Munson is a big gnarly dude, and he's
Yep.
around here all the time.
Russian.
Is he Russian?
He looks like.
He looks Russian.
I think he lives in Russia, dude. I'm almost positive
He
lives
seems
in
like he would
Russia.
live in Russia. Yeah,
I'm almost positive
Big
he
old
does.
fucking anarchist like that. And so I know Dennis Hallman and him are really good friends, and Dennis Hallman's was my coach for a bit, and I just never ran into him. I see him at the fights, and I walk up to him. I don't know if before or after my fight, and I was like, I thought you'd be bigger in person. And he's a monster. And he looks at me and he like snorts. He's like, huh? I like fucking flinch. And I just walk away. And Nick Cunning's like, he was going to kill you. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
For that dude being so big, I'm pretty sure he just took a grappling match. He can fucking grapple.
Dude, he's a wrestling motherfucker.
He's not a guy like that just fucking, he's big so he can punch hard.
He's a good jiu-jitsu guy. I remember, this is how I remember it, but he was in Abu Dhabi in like the world championships. I don't know if it was a world championship match, but it was leading up into that. He puts a guy in a rear naked choke and it's on his chin. He fucking cranks the rear naked choke, breaks the jaw of the guy.
Yep.
Like he looks like he could do that.
Who knew you could do that up until that point?
You just found out.
You're like, it's over the chin. I'm good.
Yeah. Nope. No.
Yeah, dude, that is crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched his last grappling match, and he can fucking grapple.
Yeah, he's a wrestler.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna beat up Tim Sylvia.
Yeah, because most of his fights, he just stood and fucking.
He tried to wrestle Tim Sylvia, and Tim Sylvia just didn't let him take him down and he like tore his bicep and tore his quad or something.
Oh yeah,
he like tore a couple muscles in the fight, and I just thought he was gonna kill Tim Sylvia. I've always thought Tim Sylvia looked awkward and stupid and slow, and I never had respect for Tim Sylvia as a fighter, and thought
just like taking advantage of the fact he's big.
Yeah, you fucking could do it.
Yeah. You remember when Frank Mir broke his arm?
His forearm in half. Then he's like, "It's fine, it's fine."
He's like, what the fuck are you stopping?
Herb Dean's like, "No, I watched it break,
dude.
You're not fine." He's like, "Look, it's not broken."
Yeah, and then he looks and it's fucking in two pieces. He's like, "Oh fuck."
He didn't want to quit.
He was pissed. Dude, Herb like audibly goes, "Oh shit!" Like he's mic'd up, like you could hear him.
That's something I don't think could happen to Brock Lesnar. I think you break Brock Lesnar's arm in half. In his soul, he's a pussy, but I might be wrong. I think he might just have bad habits and hasn't learned how to fucking adapt.
Sure, inexperience.
But I think you break his forearm like that, you don't see him saying it's not fucking broken. Like,
sure,
I don't know. I see myself as a fucking back in the day as the gnarliest, toughest fighter ever, meanest, grittiest dog fighting motherfucker. But I don't know if you broke my arm in half if I would tell you, oh, it's not broken. Like Tim Sylvia is a real fighter. Even if he looks stupid and awkward and shit, he's a tough motherfucker.
Definitely. Yeah, I think a lot of that is probably life experiences and things.
I think I would bet you could take these things out called people as fetuses, take them out of their mom's bellies and shock them and see how hard they recoil to pain and how they react to pain, and have them grow up as a 1-year-old or an infant and then treat them with like loud noise and stuff and how strongly they react to these stimulus. You would find out the fighters don't react as strongly to the pain stimulus and stuff. They're innate, the way their brainstem is formed doesn't cause them to react the same way. That's what I think.
So you think they're born that way? I mean, everybody says like fighters are born fighters, but also you could just be like Mike Tyson. He might have not necessarily been born a fighter, but all like the trauma and everything he ensued when he was a child.
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Grew up fucking.
I don't think.
It seemed like he was taking his aggression out of like being a helpless child on whoever signed to fight him.
I think he was able to do it in the way that he did because he was a born fighter. And I think if you take somebody that has all this trauma, I think the best example I could make is some dogs you beat, and they just cower and they get scared and you come in the house and you're stomping too hard. They're like, fuck, I'm scared of this guy. There's other dogs you beat and they become mean. They become vicious. And the fighters are the dogs that become, it's in the subconscious. It's in the parts of their brain that are pre-conscious.
Definitely. But when did it get there?
It was formed that way. The wiring was made when they were in the womb. And then now they're out of the womb. They just have a different reaction to this kind of stimulus. And so some people will cower away from the pain and shit, and the other ones will get fucking mean and hateful. And I believe it on a really deep level, and I might be wrong, and I could spit off examples all day long and evidence all day long, but at the end of the day, I might be wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I totally see what you're saying.
I see. How many kids you have?
2.
I would imagine you've treated them similarly, but there's differences that manifest in them, different personalities,
absolutely. Yeah.
different temperaments. And I think temperament is something that's ingrained. If you're more anxious or if you're less anxious, you can take somebody that's not anxious and stress them out and make them an anxious person. But you have a tendency, if all things were equal, that you wouldn't be anxious. And there's some people that are just naturally anxious and everything is chill and they're still an anxious person. But it's deeper than environment. It's genetic. And I think I believe I can see that, and I might misdiagnose it or I might be wrong in labeling some people that are this way because it's genetics, and it might be because of environment. But I do believe there's a very strong genetic component to people being fighters and tough and mean. And when they get hurt, they don't cower. And I think there's just a lot of people I've known throughout my life that they fought and they become really good fighters and they become really tough. But if I hurt them enough, no matter how, they will cower in the same way. They will get scared and they will not have that, like, I'm hurt. I need to fight. They don't have that mean response. They have the fucking cower. And anyways, let's watch this.
You could totally be right.
Yeah.
Who knows? There's so many X factors in that
there's so many factors in the why you do what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Armin's a fucking savage.
All them Russians are savages.
I think he's Ukrainian. I could be wrong.
That's Russia.
Yeah, I think he's.
Russia has invaded it. It's Russia. It's,
good point.
It's not officially Russia, but it's now Russia.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Benil looking a little gray.
So where's Dariush from?
Fuck, dude. He's from Middle East, I think.
He's Middle Eastern. Okay. Yeah, he looks Middle Eastern.
Siberia or some shit. Like
Siberia is Russia, but deep North Russia. Syria, fucking.
I'm gonna need a fucking map.
Dude, Dad, he's died.
That.
Oh, those are enough.
That's not the.
That was a
first
better
time he's been
stoppage.
Knocked out by a knee. Holy shit, that was a better stoppage. I agree. Wow, dude, knee right up the middle.
Was it a knee that got him?
Yep. I suspected that.
Well, he's not fighting Bobby now, I guess.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Dude, you have just.
Hopefully, Benil retires after that. But
He just always seemed so old to me.
yeah,
Years ago, he seemed old to me.
yeah,
I've always thought it was weird that he was doing so well.
yeah, yeah. Because he does look great in some fights, but I figured this fight wouldn't touch the ground. Both these guys are really good grapplers. I figured neither of them would shoot and be a stand-up war, and I think Benil.
Yeah, I thought it was a punch.
Oh, it is. The
Yeah.
knee missed. The knee missed.
That was a right over the shoulder. That was perfectly planted.
I feel like Benil relies too much on his jiu-jitsu.
Boom.
Yeah, I thought it was a knee. Yep.
No, that shook him good, dude.
Yep.
And he wasn't expecting. He wasn't thinking of that right hand coming over.
Yep.
It just wasn't reacting to it yet. Miss. He's all right. Now he's not. Now he's not. Yeah.
Oh god.
Only 2 extra punches.
The rest, like, it's the opposite.
You couldn't have done any
How
better.
many times do I gotta wave it off for you to fucking stop? Wow, that dude is fucking mean.
I'm hungry. He's like, I'm hungry. I need to take out the dog. And they're like, no, you just lost the fight. The dog's already taken out.
Yeah. That guy you beat. What gym is he at?
American Top Team.
Okay, ATT.
What was his name?
Sarukian.
Sarukian.
It starts with a T, but it's Sarukian.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. He's American Top Team. I see that guy all the fucking time. Every time somebody from ATT fights.
He's the jiu-jitsu coach for ATT.
Yeah, the head.
Yeah, the head
of
jiu-
all the
yeah, yeah,
ATTs.
yeah. And then so when I went to fight him for my first pro fight, he was Nick Cunning gets a call, and Dennis is like, "Hey, you want to fight this guy? Blah blah blah. It's over in Florida." And Nick Cunning's like, "Let me Google his name and look him up." And Nick's like, "Nope, I won't fight him." And he's like, "We don't have anybody here that's good enough to fight him." And I'm hearing this conversation. I'm like, "Who the fuck is it about?" And then he's like, "It's this guy. It's at 145." And I was like, "I'll fight at 45." He's like,
What were you fighting at originally? 55?
"Oh, I fought at like heavyweight and 50, I think I only had one fight at amateur at 55. So I just didn't give a shit. Like I was just looking for the meanest,
Do you
toughest.
bulk up or cut?
No, I
that far?
don't give a fuck what. Like I'm just gonna fight you.
Wow.
Like I don't like.
So you knew you can make 45.
No. I knew I could make 55 because I made 55 before.
Okay.
And for me, cutting weight was, I would walk around at 185 and cut to 55.
Okay.
And it wasn't an easy cut, but I would do it in a couple days. And I was like, fuck, I probably have 10 more pounds I could cut. Like, let's try it. Like, I was also massive at 55 at the time. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I'll try to make it. And they're like, all right, the fight's in a week. Like, if you think you can make 45, Nick, then I'll book the fight. I'll call Dennis back and say, I got a guy.
So you're 185 and a week out, they want you 145.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I could make 155.
Yeah. On how long of a notice though?
I would make it in 2 days. So I would always, I would always cut all my, I don't like the way people cut weight where they fucking cut water out and cut food out over a period of weeks. I would, eat and drink and do everything I do normally, and day before weigh-ins, so 2 days before the fight, a day before the weigh-ins, I would stop eating food altogether. I wouldn't eat anything and just drink water all day, distilled water, just as much water as I wanted. Mm-hmm. And just from not eating food and drinking distilled water, because when you're drinking shit has a bunch of sodium and electrolytes and shit in it and all that. So you're washing out a lot of the sodium, so you don't retain as much water. And at the same time, there's a bunch of 4, 5, 6 pounds of food in you and whatnot, and not just food, but carbohydrates in your muscles. Mm-hmm. I would be 8 pounds lighter 24 hours with not eating any food.
Wow.
Like just give or take a couple pounds.
Sure.
And so now I'm 22 pounds overweight. And I'd wake up in that morning, and so I have 22 pounds to weigh, and I weigh in at 6 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 or whatever it is. So I'd wake up and give myself 12 hours and sit in the sauna for 12 hours and so sweat out 22, 23, 21, 18 pounds, 17 pounds, whatever the overall. And so I'd sweat it all out, and I'd feel like death, but I'm like, how far could I make this go? Could I do another 10 pounds or something? And I was like, fuck, let's try it.
Wow.
Are you still here? And, then I'd make weight and I'd be back at 185, the next day. I'd start
holy shit.
drinking water, eating food, eating candy, eating everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And I usually I'd be too nervous the day of the fight to eat much, but after weigh-ins, I just fucking gorge and gorge and gorge. So when I fought him, I thought that would work out, and I'm cutting weight in the sauna the day of weigh-ins. I have weigh-ins at 5 o'clock, and I wake up at 4 a.m. to give myself 12 hours to do all the cutting. I cut all my weight, and I'm 3 hours out of the fight, and I'm 148, and I hadn't lost any weight in the last couple hours, and my weight would come down a couple pounds an hour.
When you get down to the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, and then I stopped sweating, so I was in the sauna for a couple hours, and I'm not sweating. I'm like, I had 148. That's it. That's as well as I can get. Like
that's crazy. You got down that low.
Well, what's even crazier is that I go to weigh in. You know what an enema is? You if you have really bad constipation, you can give yourself this laxative where you like shove it in your asshole, and it's like a big bottle of water, and that makes your guts just shoot shit out everything. Yeah. I was so dehydrated when I shoved all that. It's like the size of a soda can, like this. You put it in yourself, and I put it in me, and I'm sitting on the toilet trying to shit. I'm like, is there any more water or any more food that's in my digestive system that I could shit out and make the last 3 pounds? I just absorb all the water, and then I go up a couple pounds, and I end up doing 2 of these things, and these each weigh a couple pounds, and so I end up weighing in at 151.
Holy
and
shit.
because I was just absorbing all the. Anyways, I go weigh in, and he's like, "You're way too heavy. I'm not fighting you." Like, and they're talking about taking money out of my purse, and I was like, "You just fucking have my purse. I don't give a shit. Like, if you're willing to fight me, I just need to fight. Like, I'm sorry, I'm overweight. I fucked up." And then his managers were like, "Fine, like we take your purse, all but $100 or a couple $100 of it."
What were you getting paid at the time?
I was like 1,000 and 1,000 or something.
Oh, really?
Like not much. Like, but they were like, on one condition, you have to weigh in tomorrow at 151.
So he's your first amateur or
pro.
first pro? Okay,
Yeah.
first pro, you're making 1,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's like, even though you weighed in today and you missed weight, you have to weigh in tomorrow at 151. So I had to weigh in the next day, and I wasn't able to rehydrate or anything.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile, he's 160 at that point.
whatever he's weighing, you know, at least he got to rehydrate and shit, you know. And I end up fighting that motherfucker, not eating for 2 days, not having liquids for 2 days, and then I fought him, and he beat me by, you know, he won 2 rounds, I won 1 round.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I would have fucking throttled him, even though he's also like a 7-time world champion in jiu-jitsu.
Sure.
He was undefeated in Abu Dhabi matches. He was. Yes, the best way I can save face and feel good about losing is saying that it was because of this and that.
Sure. Well, it very well could have been.
No, he was. Even though I felt real weak and I felt real gassed. There's like a level of depletion you can get in practice that you don't get any more depleted. You're just tired, but you can keep on moving. You can keep on fighting. Sure. And I was just at that level the whole time. And so I don't know how much better I would have done if I was completely fresh, you know, if I was able to rehydrate and whatnot. But he was just so dangerous with grappling. And I just was spent 100% of the mental real estate in my mind, the bandwidth to defend everything he was doing constantly.
Oh, sure. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a fun fight.
Wow, I can't believe you fought that fucking guy. Dude, that is crazy. Especially in your first. So, what was his record at the time?
He was like 6-0 and 6 arm bars in the first round.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a shame that's not online. I wonder if you
that fight won't be on. I mean, the record will be fighting him's online, but no, I've tried to find it. Like, there's like three fights of mine that happened at these smaller events, and they never posted the shit because a lot of the fighters didn't want other people seeing them how they fight. Oh, sure. And so because his buddies were running the promotion, they threw the fights, and so they don't want people studying his shit. If they can stop it.
That makes sense. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, so you lost to him? That was your only loss?
No, all my pro fights are lost. The 2 that I had.
Oh, you had 2.
I had 2 pro fights.
I was thinking you had 4.
No, I had 5 amateur fights and 2 pro fights. Yeah, and and I lost 1 amateur fight.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it was Strider, a really good wrestler, like a 2-time national champion wrestler. Again, I'm just wanting to fight. I was so arrogant that I thought fighting amateur was below me. I just thought it was. I'm beating people up in the gym that are pros, and so like I think I shouldn't be fighting amateur, but so I fight amateur, beat a couple guys up, and then I fight this guy, and he's fucking. I could not stop him from taking me down. It was so much better at wrestling and controlling than I ever could have fucking imagined. Wow. And I lost that amateur, but that was my second fight. I lose, and then the rest of my the next 3 I win against gnarly people. You know, fucking. There would be Strider Davis was an amateur. He was like also 6-0, I think, and nobody wanted to fight him because he fucking smashing people, and you don't want to have a loss on your record. And I was looking for those motherfuckers. I'm like, wow. Like, let's fucking fight this motherfucker. Like, I think I'm the baddest. Let's find out if I'm the fucking baddest. Like,
what made you call it quits after 2 pro fights?
I don't think there was ever a day I called it quits, but it was like a bunch of injuries and going to college, and when I moved to Portland to go to college, I didn't have the same. The gym didn't feel like home the same. I was training at a Team Quest at this point, and everybody at Team Quest was cool, like Matt Linlin, the guys that ran it, but it wasn't like, they weren't. They had other fighters they were trying to elevate in their careers and stuff, and I was kind of like a new guy, and they weren't trying to elevate me the same way. They weren't looking for fights. They weren't like asking me like. I'm training there and I'm telling them I will fight and stuff, but they're not going to spend time and resources out of their day to like try to help me out. But there's a series of like a year or two where I have an injury. So I'm supposed to have a fight in Costa Rica, hurt my knee, have to pull out of the fight. I'm supposed to have another fight with fucking Eddie Ellis, some other like good pro from around, a local pro, and I hurt my neck real bad, tear some muscles in my neck, and I hurt my neck and I'm out. I tear my rotator cuff and I'm out for 6 months. So there's like a couple years where I get an injury, recover, get in shape, take a fight, and so there's probably 5 or 6 or 7 fights I would have took, and if I wouldn't have got injured, I wouldn't have stopped fighting. When I stopped fighting, I see. Now I'm 3 years deep, 3 years deep of not having any fights, and now I'm in college, and I just slowly kind of like floated away from that being in a fight. Like, and I'm in a new gym. They don't know me as a fight. They know that I've had fights, but I'm not an active fighter to them, and it just like then there's like some point where I just. I'm wanting to fight for probably 2 or 3, 4 years, wanting to take fights and stuff. And then there's like some day or something happens where I'm just like, I'm not willing to fight to the death. Like, like I'm not, I don't, I think Mike Tyson said it in one of his last boxing fight. He's like, I don't have it in my guts anymore. I just remember not feeling like I had it in my guts anymore to fight to the death. Like, I wanted to be the best on the planet. I was like, I thought I was going to be champion, you know, I thought I was going to be in the UFC, and I believed I was fucking everybody up. And there's a day where I'm like, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I'm going to be the best. I don't feel like I am the best anymore, you know? And it's, I kind of just floated away. I don't have a good reason, you know?
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
Should be getting picked up soon. Let me call my girlfriend.
You got it. I got to piss, so let's end it.
Bye, everybody. I hope that was entertaining.